Well, last we left off, you folks were running around Denova, spent a good amount of time trying to decide what to do about the Commune of Radiance, which is the first thing that we'll go ahead and resolve tonight, or rather, we'll have the players' actions and we'll have to see how that unfolds as we go. Because you folks are really only a day past that at this point, and then we'll be all caught up. Then you manage to secure passage on a ship, trying to make your way towards the Dark Armor Mountains to try and get some help from Levine's armor creators, Gimme and Janks, and on the first day, your first day on the water, you immediately rolled a combat travel roll and
Yes.
ran into Desdemona, who was quite a challenging foe. But Cassandra and Desdemona's words rang true. They were going to finish this that very encounter, and our heroes prevailed victorious, but not before Edgar and Levine were felled by Desdemona. And as far as I know, the results of those two are going to be surrenders. Those characters are not gone, and we'll continue moving on with the narrative for there. Desdemona, however, has been slain, and the outcome of this is that her soul is now trapped in the compass. And we had some developments on that we just barely touched on at the end of the episode. Cassandra's clock has advanced a little bit further, has some new constraints and conditions, but as a result, she is beginning to hear whispers from the compass more than just actual vibrations. So we'll have to see where that leads. With that being said, our heroes are back on the boat. The boat barely survived the battle. I think there were 2 volcano spells cast by Desdemona, and a third one probably would have done it. But the boat has survived, everybody is afloat, and I think the pendulum even showed up during that battle as well to assist to a certain degree. And you folks have a little bit more information based on the pendulum as well, from a coded missive that you guys cracked and figured out. So with that being said, let's start off with the party's response to the Commune of Radiance having lost their leader, and then we will continue the narrative from there.
So, sorry, we're at the speech part, or
Yeah.
okay. Did we go to the commune, or are we kind of back at the castle still, where we were orchestrating our plan?
That's your choice.
We could orchestrate where we decide when and where to give the speech or something, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would assume that from the way I was reading it, sounds like we would be delivering it directly to, the commune, but obviously citizens in general.
Yeah.
Okay. And I still am going to say we should do the cake fundraiser.
Cake fundraiser? What was the details with that exactly?
They have to make the most pink cake. Whatever that is up to your imagination, and all proceeds go to helping the commune reestablish. They'll sell off the cake.
A bake sale.
Yeah, something like that. We don't have to, but...
Is Levine taking the helm of responsibility with that?
Oh yeah, totally. She's such a good cook.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I have no objections of which is going there.
That's probably for the best.
in the morning? Because it sounded like we were gonna do it at the start of the day, but I didn't know if we needed to report back to the king, because we did kind of tell him we'd give him an answer too.
Oh, yeah, so...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure your words will find him in the contents of the speech, but if you actually want to check back, you are welcome.
That to the group, so I don't mind either way.
We can just go do the speech then if you want.
Okay.
We could tell the king we have a speech, and we are ready to give the people an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Take that, evil king guy.
He's my father.
Oh yeah, totally not evil, I mean.
With an expansive spy network.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll make our way over there.
To the throne room?
To the commune.
Oh, okay. Roll
Give, like,
initiative.
message to the king that we're going there, right?
Ooh.
I'm kidding. Kidding.
Oh.
It's the only
I
fun.
got excited.
It's the only
like,
fun
wait.
I get to have with that.
I was like, oh gosh, here we go.
Okay, so you folks make your way over to the commune. When you arrive, it appears that many of the members of the commune have heard the news at this point and are kind of gathering in a central location near where new refugees tend to be taken in, because it's kind of like a mess hall and supply area kind of all at once, and there seems to be a good deal of hustle and bustle, and some people sound concerned and despaired by the news, and some people are shouting and angry, and it's controlled chaos at the moment. So what do you do?
Do we see Tiberius or Elena or anybody?
I think we left them at the castle, didn't we?
I didn't know if they went back or not.
Because I thought their plan was to travel with us. That was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So like, we were gonna.
providing
They were
them
staying
safe
behind in the
harbor.
castle because they didn't want to go back to the commune.
Yeah,
Okay.
so eventually, like, that's our trip that we were dropping them off. So
Yes.
they should, at this point, they should never stay with it because we're going back in time to do this, right?
Yep.
Okay. Is there like, I don't know, like, is there any guards in the area either, or is it just all commune members?
So it's mostly just commune members. This area of the city is mostly run by the commune, but you do arrive with something of an escort, given that you are appearing as a royal official.
Do I get any, like, looks? Like, are people taking notice, or are they too immersed with the fact of the news?
Some people definitely notice you and are pointing and whispering and kind of wondering what's going to happen, but mostly people are engaged in their own conversations at the moment.
Okay. So Blair's probably gonna turn to the party and be like, we need to make sure that everybody's able to hear this. I can, deliver a speech with you all, but maybe we should get them aware of the situation before I do so.
Oh, I imagine you would probably want to. Oh, yeah. I guess I never really thought about like how we can arrange the speech. Yeah.
Oh, we could go reach out to that troubadour.
The what? I'm sorry?
The troubadour.
Isn't there, the troubadour, the one who was shouting out all the good things that the...
Oh my goodness, what is his name? Find it here.
Oh, we talked about the one guy that I tried to intimidate to death.
Mm-hmm.
What's his? I have it written down somewhere.
Troubadour Carson.
There you go, Troubadour Carson.
Alright, let's find him.
Okay.
We just need to get the word out and people start gathering. And we don't need everybody either. A big enough crowd so that word of mouth can spread.
Okay.
Okay, well,
So you make a double insight check, if you would, Blair.
okay. Let me get my details.
Should we also maybe just do a group check in order to arrange the speech, even?
For what?
What do you mean arrange the speech?
To try to gather people around and get people to notice and form up, I guess. I don't know. That's what I thought we were doing at this point too. But...
I have an 11.
Okay. You pick out Troubadour Carson is definitely in the crowd, although unusual for him, he doesn't seem to be speaking to anyone. He's just kind of taking it all in.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have a crowd then.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it's the next day. The news of the passing of Faith Speaker Margulis is spread rapidly throughout all of Denova, not just here. But this is really the first day after the rumors began, and everybody is trying to figure out what to do, and so they're all gathered in this sort of refugee center where they tend to hand out food and clothing and everything to people coming into the commune. The big meeting space that you guys were at when you first investigated the commune.
And I take it since there's a lot of supplies here, there's like boxes and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. So, above table, I'm gonna get ready to tell the speech unless you guys have anything to say.
do you wonder how much we want to try to... because I'm not sure how much we should be worried about exposing ourselves, our faces, to the crowd, considering only a handful of people might know that we killed
Blair was using a
Margulis.
disguise, and only 2 people got away.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
wondering. Should we just yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a concern at all, but at the very least, I feel like some of us might want to like kind of make sure to not expose ourselves too much, like Levine, I guess, in particular. But
I mean, that's fine. I'm probably gonna like pause at each section that I had, broken down in the side earlier, just sort of to give the crowd chances to respond. Unless Sinus, you want me to go through it all, or
You can do that. You may deliver it however you would like.
okay, because
No.
I want to give the players a chance too if they want to like observe the crowd's reactions or
Yep,
whatever.
sure.
So okay.
Edgar's gonna whip up a quick megaphone for you
Oh,
to
you made this.
amplify the voice. I
Oh,
assume that's just like a minor project that affects one individual, so my visionary skill should cover the costs for it.
Okay, sounds good.
I accept the megaphone and I step on one of the crates to kind of make myself a little taller than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I look to the crowd and sort of gently tap it and say, hello, good afternoon, or good morning. Just to kind of get people's attention. And then Blair will just break into it. Citizens of Denova and members of the Commune of Radiance, I, Blair, heir of Denova, have come to bring grave news in relation to Faith Speaker Margulis and several members of the Commune. It is with deep sadness that I inform you of their passing, and with their loss, I cannot begin to fathom how deeply this will impact each and every one of you. The hardships and struggles you once faced before are now being put before you once more. And in its shadow, you might feel a number of things: anger, sadness, anxiety, despair, and hopelessness. And I'm pausing for a second.
I think as far as Levine is concerned, maybe she'll like kind of watch the perimeter for any signs of hostility. But other than that, she's just gonna try to keep an eye out, keep afar.
Okay.
Those of you that are looking out into the crowd, make a double insight check. And Blair, I would like you to make a insight and willpower check, please.
Okay.
Here, I'll use Foundry too. I just realized.
This one, there we go. Insight and willpower.
I got a solid 4.
I got a 10.
I have a 6.
So, looking out upon the crowd, most people have quieted and appear to be listening to you. They have some side conversations. And as you approach the end of this section of your speech, there tends to be a general sense of unease moving through the crowd. They are worried and they are not sure what is about to happen next. So from here, go ahead and continue.
But the tenets of what you accomplished under Face Speaker Margulis should not be lost in the wake of this tragedy. And I know, as a member of the Crown, that I might seem like an outsider to your plight, but your contributions to the people of Denova have been seen. You have already been on the beaten path, and yet you rose again to give to those who are less fortunate or in need. You built a community around, rediscovering hope in the light, and shared that warmth with your strangers, family, and friends. The light that once led you all can still burn bright and keep that spirit alive.
Okay.
Pause again.
Those that are looking out into the crowd, you may make double insight checks. Blair, another insight and willpower check, please.
12 for me.
I got a critical apparently.
Nice.
So yeah, okay, yep.
I got a 7, so it's pretty good for me.
What was Blair's roll
I got
again?
a 15.
A 12.
12.
But a hard 12.
So,
Solid.
folks seem to be generally nodding their heads in agreement. There are very few of them that seem to be shaking their heads or dissenting in any way so far. For those of you looking out into the crowd with rolls of 10 and above, that's essentially what you see. Cassandra, how would you like to use your opportunity?
I would like to do something to help with Blair's speech, but I'm not really sure how I should go about it without
Start, start an applause.
is this an appropriate time for me to start an applause?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Save that for the end.
Could I save my thing for a little bit? If it seems like they start to get a little wary, can I save it for a little bit later, or do I have to do it now?
You have to do it before the end of the speech, otherwise it's
Yeah,
lost.
I will try to do it before the end of the speech.
Like,
Okay.
is this speech sort of like a clock, or like?
The speech is a speech, and it's going how it's going. We're kind of given breaks,
Yeah.
and most of the outcome will take place over time, and you are getting some clues as to how receptive the people are to your message right at the moment.
Alright, so I can continue?
Yep.
Take heed of my words, as I know this is a heavy burden, but I implore you to seek who among you can accept this role of leadership, responsibility, and strengthen the commune in its time of need. The Crown of Denova is currently looking into what has transpired at the ancient haven and what should be done to restore order. But first and foremost, we must address the most pressing concern for us, and that is the people of this commune and your care. Faith speaker Margulis was a man who believed strongly in helping others, and in his absence there may be no clear guidance on what to do. But it is our hope that the commune can come together and contribute in the appointment of a new leader. This new faith speaker could be in our midst, but the Crown acknowledges that the appointment of a new faith speaker is a choice that should be made by you, the people. That right belongs to you, and we could not think of anyone better than all of you to decide who should lead you and who would be willing to follow. There's
Okay.
a pause.
Insight and willpower for Blair again.
Okay. 7.
7. Okay. Anyone else? Anything going on in particular that you are looking for or trying to do here?
So I think I figured out with like cause I think someone kind of mentioned it earlier for my opportunity. Once Blair's winding down the speech, I am gonna try to get like a round of like support and like calls of
Yeah.
support going
Mhm.
and stuff. So that way hopefully it keeps the crowd like optimistic about what's happening is my goal with that.
Mhm.
Rather than them devolving back into like being upset or something. Try to get optimism out there about the situation.
Okay. So we'll do that after the closing remarks here and see how that plays out.
I think Zither and Zinnia and whatever birds and other animals nearby should be roaming through the crowd, looking for people that are intently focused but not very happy.
All right, go ahead and roll a double insight check.
I think Levine is mostly going to be trying to keep an eye out for anyone who is zoning in on Blair in particular. Just trying to play guard on there.
Same thing, double insight check.
Okay.
Just a 9.
Hey, a 5. Guys, so good.
Okay. Um, for Zinnia's role, you have a couple of feelers out into the crowd, but it seems like, for better or worse, most people are focused forward, and you're not getting a whole lot of information from the animals about what specifically people are saying, because it tends to be in hushed voices and lots of overlapping chatter. What you do pick up is more emotions that are going on in the crowd, which is something many of the animals that you communicate with would be sensitive to. And the types of emotions that you are experiencing tend to run mostly towards hope, but there are some instances of worry and mistrust in the crowd. Okay, let's see. And Levine, your role, unfortunately, mostly what you see is that there are just too many faces, too many sets of eyes to really narrow down anyone in the crowd who may or may not be who may or may not have intents other than listening. Anyone else before we do the closing remarks?
No, I'm good.
Okay, go ahead.
Please provide referrals by sundown tomorrow for a candidate you feel would fulfill the role of faith speaker. Then we can set up some voting booths around the commune. Starting at dawn the next day, you will be able to line up and cast your vote at the different polling stations. The votes will then be counted through the night, and we will announce the person who accumulated the most votes the very next day. Perhaps then, when the sun is most high, the light can shine down on the next dawn of this new chapter for the commune of radiance.
Okay. So let's start with an insight and willpower check for Blair, please.
Oh, I got a double one.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Take a Fabula point for that.
Okay,
I don't know why I felt in my lungs, but
okay.
And okay, Cassandra, let's. How exactly are you trying to get the crowd going here?
I just like because like the traditional sort of like because like when Blair ends the speech with like perhaps when the sun is most high and stuff like that. Like Cassandra will just be like, here, kind of like, just like a little quiet, like a quick little cheer. Because I don't, she's not going to try like to be like, like a huge, like, oh my God, yes, like clapping really hard or whatever. That seems a bit obnoxious, but like just try to get like a little bit of a call going
Mm-hmm.
because hopefully it'll inspire someone else to like, like standing ovation wise, but just like a little ripple.
she's one of those noisemakers.
When people hear people clapping, they just want to clap along, you know?
Yeah, like
It's like
here, and like polite clapping, but not like obnoxious clapping, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Cassandra, go ahead and roll double willpower with a +4 to your roll.
Okay. Let's see how that works for me. Oh yeah, it might. Can I take my poisoned off? Because technically, right now I'm not poisoned in this backstory.
Correct.
I was gonna roll that. I've been rolling poison the whole time. Double willpower. I got this.
Oh!
Oof.
What the heck?
Oh,
How do we get 2 double ones in a row?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
Take your Fabula point, Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Anything before we finish up here?
just make sure to play defense for Blair is my goal at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
work.
playing more bodyguard.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm playing more bodyguard and just making sure no harm comes to Blair.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Then, based on what has happened here, Blair steps down from the crate, and the people are now talking amongst each other. And the voices gradually, the volume of the voices starts to grow and grow and grow. And before long, you realize that there seems to be a lot of confusion and shouting. And the guards, the Denovan guards, begin to try and usher most of you back down the street. And as you are making your way away, you hear the sounds of, let's say, an unruly crowd. There's a good deal of shouting and overlapping voices. There's the sounds of containers being dropped onto the ground and tables being overturned, and louder and louder shouting as you leave the scene behind you. And that's where you're headed.
We done goofed.
Yeah,
Good
Blair
thing
is
we
not
left
taking
for a
that
bit.
well.
So we'll see how that turns out. But for now, let's shift our attention forwards onto the ship, and you folks are on the ship. You are not too far from the coast. You are about 1 day's travel, so you are probably Let's see, what did I say? Somewhere around the northeast corner of the kingdom of Denova right now. So in those purple regions here. What would you like to do?
I imagine Levitt and Edgar are unconscious at the moment, correct?
It's sort of up to you what you want that to look like. If your character is not sacrificing, they are instead surrendering, you do not necessarily have to fall unconscious. But you are incapacitated in some way until you resolve that outcome.
Okay, I will say for Levine, as she went down, she had like just so much lava on top of her that was like kind of getting into her suit and like getting through the nooks and crannies of it, but was like cooling down thanks to the pendulum. Otherwise, she would have probably burned alive. So her armor is like a mix of like just hardened magma. So group's probably gonna have to chisel her out of that a little bit, which is why her armor will be a bit messed up. I guess I could still keep my sword. My sword doesn't necessarily need to be, but I figure at the very least my armor would be the price I'd pay for my surrender.
Okie doke.
Yeah, Blair is probably panicking-ish a little bit, seeing the state everybody's in, and trying to get a potion out to replenish their MP to see if they need healing, because I
Oh
do
yeah.
not. So I will use that.
Okay. Anyone else?
Oh, I think I established before that after the fight, like in the aftermath, Cassandra is just not paying attention to anything else.
Okay.
She's just crying and all that stuff. I think she probably will come out of it once in a little while, but like for right now, I think she's just breaking down a little.
Well, the scene on the ship is pretty somber in general. The crew is making repairs to um, the various scars on the ship from the volcano blasts and the battle, and attempting to undergo those repairs. The anchors are down. You folks don't seem to be going anywhere for the remainder of the day, and the sun is beginning to set on the horizon, and so yeah, that's pretty much the scene here. Things are quiet and contemplative, and um, almost in a certain way mournful.
Do we maybe like? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like Edgar's gonna, you know, whenever he comes to or whatever, he'll, tries to push himself up from the floor and realize that his right arm's not working. And he's like, "Oh, well, that's not good at all. I guess it gives me something to do for the rest of the day." And so he's gonna lift himself up and take his dangling arm with him. Yeah, try to work on that to until he's back in shape.
All right. Anyone else have anything that they need to accomplish before this day comes to a close? Right then.
Um.
I guess
Oh,
I guess
sorry.
Levine could probably start waking up at some point, I'm sure. And then she's going to, she's kind of got lots of burns over herself. She's going to realize that her armor is like in a weird heap of molten scrap. And she feels very sad about it because it's all she's had for a while now. It's the one thing she's kept by her side. So she's very sad about that and very thirsty, and she needs a drink.
Did anyone in specific want healing? I can heal 3 people.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we should just consider that kind of a rest situation of some sort, or how we should handle that.
Well, I burned inventory points to get my elixir and get mine points up so I could heal. So
Yeah,
So
I can't
I,
remember what the rest situation is.
I think I think so. There's nothing specific that I remember in the rule book about what overnight kind of looks like for folks, but I do know that there is essentially a tent item.
Yeah.
And so I would say as long as someone has the inventory points to pitch a tent, then you folks will be fully recovered by the next.
Okay, I know I am completely out.
Well, I don't know about
well,
you,
Whatever
but
that's
I
what.
don't need inventory points to pitch a tent.
I
Oh
oh,
yeah?
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, we're talking about camping. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I guess we need 4 inventory points for that.
I mean, I could use instead of replenishing my MP, all 6 if that's what's needed. I don't know what is needed for tent, but I'm looking in the book right now.
I think it's 4, right, for a tent?
I believe so, yes.
Would you have objection with me doing that instead of getting my MP back? Since
I
I had
think that
6.
makes.
Yeah, it allows the entire group to rest in the wilderness.
I have a tent.
Oh, do you?
We should all
You
have
have
tents.
Okay. If you want to use it, I mean, I don't mind burning the 4 inventory points because I can get it back the next time we go to the shop or whatever. If you want to save it for a different time, Zinnia.
I think I would also just buy it back when we go to a store.
So you want to use it then?
Sure.
Or okay.
Let's see. Resting in the wilderness. A magic tent created by spending 4 inventory points. 1 tent is enough for the entire group. Safe location where there is no risk of being attacked, which you are not necessarily true. Da-da-da-da-da. Yep. Okay. So yeah, if you guys pitch a tent, you get everything back except your IP.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Zinnia.
There are 5 barrels and a
And how
small
much is
cat
each
bed.
inventory
Nice.
point again?
It depends who you buy from. You
Oh,
currently do not have
we
access
don't have a.
to
Okay,
a
so we're-
merchant who can sell you inventory. So Zinnia erects a bright purple tent. There are 5 bedrolls and a small cat bed in the corner. So everybody will get a full night's rest. I would say Cassandra in particular, you probably spend a certain amount of time, whether willingly or not, sort of learning to deal with these voices that you are hearing.
Yes.
And at first, you are kind of overwhelmed with this cacophony of different voices, and it's difficult to discern one from the other. It's a really it's a whole bunch of voices overlapping in kind of this tone, and it's it takes you a little while before you are able to harness the energy of the compass a little bit and use it as a focus on specific voices. And you find that it has nothing to do with your ears. It seems to be in your head and emanating from the compass. And so you spend a reasonable amount of time just listening and trying to, and you encounter a number of different stories. You've encountered soldiers who have died violently in past lives. You encounter people who died peacefully but have not found rest. You overhear voices speaking in languages that you don't understand. You also are able to eventually discern the voices of Tristan and Desdemona, who are talking to each other, not to you, but you hear them in your head. And there is the gist of the conversation that you pick up is mostly reunion, not necessarily a happy, fun-filled reunion, but a sort of remorseful, regretful, but nonetheless a reunion of two souls that have been separated from each other for a while. And there is a certain calm and peacefulness to that. There is some anger from Tristan towards Desdemona for being abandoned, for failing, for letting things happen to him. And there's also some anger from Desdemona that she tried her best, that she did everything she could and spent most of her life looking out for Tristan, and anger at herself for not having the reunion that they had hoped for. And those conversations carry well beyond the point at which you fall asleep. The rest of you, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, they have a long time to work that out, though.
Yes, they do.
Were they talking about me?
Not yet.
Did you see that crazy girl with the book?
I'm not sure that Cassandra has necessarily disclosed that.
Oh, that I can hear voices yet? No,
Yeah.
I don't think it, because it was kind of like, it started happening. Cassandra started crying, probably like cried herself to sleep, but it cried herself until she couldn't do it anymore. And then all the voices, she's like, I'm gonna try to sleep, but no.
Okay.
But yeah, I do think that waking up in the morning though, Cassandra would say something.
Okay.
She would probably go to Edgar and be like, Edgar, there's been developments with the compass.
Well, speaking of which, you all do rise the next morning, and I will let you decide what to do from here.
I will say I figure Levine would probably be out until the next morning, and she's also gonna have like burns on the side of her face and one eye is patched up, and she's gonna probably start circling around the ship trying to see how people are doing after everything that had happened. Starting with Cassandra. If I should just do that now, I will, but I just figured I'd mention that'd be what I'd do by that morning.
I mean, yeah, if you want to, you can.
Go right
You
ahead.
could also do the thing with Edgar first if you want to, but I just figured to mention that. But
Well, if you're getting up, I feel like Levine probably wakes up earlier than everybody else does. I get that
Yeah.
vibe. So
I figure she might sleep pretty hard with what happened, but
that's fair.
either way. But yeah, I guess you'll like go up to Cassandra, and she'll be like, "Cass, what happened with Desdemona? Did you get her?"
Zinnia did. If I'm remembering right? Right, it was Zinnia.
Yeah, it was. But also Levine's gonna be like, "What? Beg pardon?
Yeah, Zinnia like
Is
it
it
was
like a dark spell?
no, she hit her with her book. I think
What?
I don't know if this is a fever dream from all of the stress,
I
but
think
I
it
think
was a book.
Zinnia. I
Mhm.
think
Did you
Zinnia
see the
beat
fisherman too?
the fisherman.
Yeah, I thought it was the heat from the volcano, but I saw a fisherman batting away the lava.
Oh, I didn't see. No, did we? No.
No. Okay. Maybe it's
But
just
I'm
the
pretty
heat.
sure Zinnia. Zinnia is quite strong. It's just the book coming out to like do that much damage was a lot.
I think Jazz was referring to the pendulum.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah, it
Cassandra
was.
saw the
Yeah.
pendulum though.
Yeah.
I
no,
think
you're right.
Levine was the only one to see the pendulum at that
I thought
moment.
Levine and Edgar did though, or
Oh,
something. No.
maybe.
I know Zinnia and I did too when
Okay.
the event happened with the pendulum, but I don't remember if they all saw or not.
Because I'm almost positive Cassandra didn't see him.
Because there
Yeah.
was that part where Zinnia tried to get the albatross to get him, and
Oh my
sounded
gosh.
Yeah.
like no bird or something. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly.
But yeah, Cassandra, I think, is also it's like after breaking down the night before, I think she's gonna like do her best today to pretend that she's like fine. She definitely didn't cry in front of everybody last night. And then she's gonna check. So as Levine's checking on her, she's probably gonna be like maybe moving around her room and like tidying it up and trying to like busy herself. Like, oh, I'm totally fine. See, I'm like doing things.
Oh yeah, can I make some kind of check
Or like
to
killing space.
interpret how Cassandra is doing while that's going on?
If you want to.
Go ahead and make a Levine make a double insight check, and Cassandra make a willpower and either insight or willpower check.
I got an 8.
I got a
Double
4.
4s.
I don't know. What does Levine see?
Levine sees that she sees Cass and she's thinking about how dry her mouth is, and she's like smacking her lips. It's like, I'll be back. I gotta get some water. Gonna get like just this a huge mug of like weird tea. Just throw some weird herbs
I
in
think
there.
Cassandra will follow along. Like, I could use some water too, Levine. How are you doing, by the way? You almost got taken out by that lava. Are you doing okay?
You know, Levine's gonna ruminate a bit in her head about how horrible she did that fight. The fact that Blair almost died, realizing that Edgar almost died, and then she's gonna think about her armor that she just threw to waste and how everything's like spiraling around her. And she's gonna say, "I'm okay."
I think Cassandra's gonna nod her head, like, that's good. That's good. And just keep it moving. Just...
So, I guess I would say then that Cassandra is finding comfort in routine, kind of falling
Yes.
back on that, not necessarily military, but that kind of regimented training from her background to help keep her occupied, keep everything on autopilot. And it's enough to fool Levine, at the very least, that you're okay.
Hard to
Yes.
do, really.
But I think Cassandra will be seeking out Edgar next. I don't know if anybody else has something they want to do first, though.
Levine will probably be following up too with that, bringing her tea for Edgar and you.
Okay.
All right, so you folks are presumably in what accounts for the mess of this ship, which is kind of small, and there's really only 2 or 3 portholes in this whole section, and a couple of tables with stools that tend to slide around unless there are butts in them. But Levine is brewing tea, and Cassandra is kind of checking over her weapons and armor, keeping busy. And then Edgar, it's your show from here.
Sorry, I didn't realize I had a show.
Sorry, Cassandra's kind of waiting on you to talk
Oh.
about what happened the day before.
Oh yeah, and the compass and stuff, right?
Oh, I think Cassandra would seek Edgar out is the thing.
I was
Oh.
gonna say.
Like, I don't think I would just because like I think I would like be like I'm gonna follow Levine and like, oh wait, I need to go talk to Edgar. So I'll be like, I'm gonna go talk to Edgar. See you later, Levine.
Wow.
And then like Levine, because then he'll just leave. Because Jason said that Levine's gonna bring us tea, so I'm gonna be like, gotta go warn Edgar about that too.
All right. So
Find us some chives for it.
so that's where Cassandra's leaving from. Where is Edgar, and what is he doing at the moment?
So he probably woke up. I don't know if there's some crates. He might have just used one as a workstation. He took his arm off, and he's working on it as best he can with his other arm. Try to get it fully functional again. So he's yeah. So I guess probably in the hold somewhere.
All right. Cassandra, roll. Actually, you don't need to roll. It takes a little bit of asking around and checking in before you hear from someone. Oh, Edgar's probably still working on his arm. No one's sure whether Edgar has slept yet at this point or not. But he's at this point still working on the arm down in the hole, and that's where you find him.
Okay. I'll like knock on the wall as I'm entering the area so I don't startle him with his like little delicate parts or something like that. Because I feel like the delicate, like it's like Magitech has like lots of little screws and pieces.
A lot of cogs.
Yeah, a lot of cogs. But like
you gotta honor the cog. Is
Okay, Edgar, do you answer? You definitely hear it, but this is focus intensive work.
Yep. He'll just kind of wait a few seconds, try to finish what he's doing, and then lift his goggles up, look over at Cassandra, and be like, "Oh, hey."
Hey, so I'm pretty sure after after what happened last night, the compass has changed again. I hear voices, Edgar.
I'm sorry, what?
It's speaking to me.
Like, I mean, you're speaking to me as well.
No. Remember before how it was just vibrating when we would ask it questions?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like telling me life stories.
Oh, wow.
And
I guess that saves a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I heard Tristan and Desdemona talking. It was really weird to listen in on that.
So, what exactly is the problem then? You can just ask it questions and get your answers. That's amazing.
I mean,
Saves the translation.
but it keeps sucking in souls.
Well,
It
yeah.
keeps changing without us knowing.
Yeah, I
Concerning.
mean that's fair. The soul sucking bit is not ideal.
Because like, what if something happens to one of you guys and it sucks in one of your souls?
Well, you just got to make sure that nothing happens to us then.
It's a lot of pressure. Cassandra just sort of like freezes a little bit. Yeah.
He
make sure that doesn't
reattaches his arm on his shoulder. He's like, "I believe in you." Gives a thumbs up, except the elbow bends the wrong way. As it bends up downwards, like, oh, hold up. Just like gives it a couple more turns and until it's facing the right way. There we go.
Sandra's definitely not going to have a panic attack. Like, yeah, gotta make sure nothing happens. If nothing happens, it'll be fine. And she's gonna keep telling herself that and be like, oh, Levine's bringing us tea.
I
Just like,
dive into the hell itself and kill the devil.
for
Here's
tea.
your tea. No, if I died.
Oh, that's fair.
So
Oh,
out of curiosity, can you choose not to listen to it?
I haven't figured that out yet.
So right now, you notice that when someone else is speaking and you are listening and processing other voices, it seems to stop almost involuntarily, which is great news. You're not going to have overlapping voices in your head and when you're listening. You roll an insight and willpower check.
Yeah, 3.
You are still having trouble outside of those instances quieting the voices in your head. You can do it on occasion, but you haven't really quite gotten the hang of it.
Yeah, I figured it's like at best right now it's like background, like a white noise thing that's
Right.
happening for her.
Mhm.
It's kind of like if you heard like a bunch of people whispering off in a corner in like a bar or something. That's what it feels like all the time, Edgar, unless I'm talking to someone and then it's quiet.
Yes, I do understand a lot about people talking around in bars.
I mean, you've been to a couple with
You,
us. You have to like
you could tell that he doesn't really understand.
whispering in a classroom?
Oh, that's the worst. Or like people talking in the library?
Yeah, exactly. Like people like whispering just a little bit too loud in the library when you're trying to study.
Oh, that's the worst. Right. Okay. So we need some sort of way to muffle that. That seems complicated.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Hopefully, maybe once because Levine's friends seem to have a lot of interesting knowledge about like magical objects. Like, look at the armor they made. So maybe they have some information about this.
Levine has to hold back tears as you mention the armor.
She doesn't know why. She's just holding back tears. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. Like that thing doesn't seem to be Magitech. It seems to be, something way more ancient than that. But I can try to see if I can figure something out. You can't leave it with me, can you?
Cassandra will try to see if she can pull it any further away from her body than before.
So where previously it seemed like there was an unnatural gravity of this thing. So I would say in the past, if you had, say, leaned forward, it would seem like the compass wasn't going straight down towards the ground. It was kind of moving towards your chest a little bit, just ever so slightly. Now you notice that it doesn't leave your body at all when you move around. It seems pretty firmly stuck there at this point.
Cassandra, without without much thought, she's gonna like sort of reach, like, because like I'm sure she's probably trying to lift it from the chain and it's not lifting, so she's gonna probably reach like into her shirt and try to like lift it from her chest, like grip it and try to lift it that way, and then realize she can't pull it off at all, and then look at Edgar with like really wide eyes, and they'd be like, "No, I can't even let you hold it anymore."
So
No.
it does seem to slide around a little bit.
So like okay, so like
it-
it'll move a
As
little.
long as it has contact with your body, it seems to be okay.
So
Want
like,
me to give it a
ooh,
shot?
is the chain for the compass like a piece of rope or like leather?
It's an actual chain.
Okay. If Edgar could break one of the links, because we can repair it later, Cassandra can like slide it down her hand, and then maybe put it like on her wrist, like put it on her wrist instead of her chest. So that way Edgar can like other people can observe it later, and she doesn't have to like open her shirt all the time.
Um, okay,
Edgar
so
doesn't understand the problem about
'Cause
Cassandra having to
Edgar
flash
just-
around all the time, but
so it has a clasp, and
Yeah. Oh, it does have a clasp.
yeah, it's easy enough to unclasp, and you
Okay.
find that if you let it go, if you let the chain go, the compass will stay in place, but the chain will just fall according to gravity, essentially.
Okay.
And so you have no problem. Actually, make a dexterity and willpower check for me.
It's gonna go poorly. I can just tell. Yeah. 5.
Uh, so you attempt to move this. You attempt to move the compass down towards your wrist, but it just doesn't quite want to cooperate, and it takes you a lot longer than you think it should. But eventually, you manage to somehow get this compass the whole way down to your wrist without taking your clothes off, but you definitely had to do parts of it in private in order to not be
Yes.
revealing to everyone, because that thing was not cooperating with clothes in the way. And so, but you
Which makes
eventually get it down there, and it's stuck to your wrist just like it was around your neck earlier. And if you would like, you can shorten up the chain very easily. It would just take a set of pliers and readjust the clasp, or you can use it without at this point since it's essentially stuck to your body. That's up to you.
I think Cassandra will just wrap the chain around her wrist a couple times and then just
Mhm.
clasp it and leave it the long length, and then hold her like hand out to Edgar and show it on her wrist. This is about the best I could do.
ah,
We're not going to talk about what just happened.
I saw nothing, and nobody else is gonna know.
Levine sips slowly.
Levine saw nothing, and nobody else
I
is
saw
gonna
nothing.
know.
Couldn't see with the bandage.
Just to see if this helps at all to um kind of let the things subside or whatever. Actually, let me see. Okay. I'm gonna spend 2 inventory points and 10 MP, and I'm going to cast. So I'm gonna pull up this little magnet, and I'm gonna try to cast Dispel on Cassandra to see if it's even if a little briefly, if it kind of scrambles the compass at all.
I see. So you were holding a magnet towards the compass and casting Dispel to see if the needle will orient towards the magnet when you cast a spell. Is that right?
Well, I was using the magnet as a way to cast
Oh.
the Dispel. So it's not the magnet has nothing to do with,
Got it.
with the thing. So I'm just trying to see if I can cast a spell on it.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a um Is this an actual spell, or is this like a
Yeah, well, this is a Magisphere.
magisphere?
So it lets me cast the Dispel spell.
Okay.
So
So
or
then,
Dispel,
yeah,
regardless,
roll a
is
dispel. Let's see. I see.
there's no rolls normally, but I'm using it in a different way than it.
That's fine.
Just trying to see if it has any effect.
Okay. So you cast the spell, and the compass seems to shimmer with this purplish pink energy, and what you see is kind of like a small um, a small thin razor thin layer going around the compass in all directions that seems to light up and react to the dispel spell and then goes away when it is complete. um, Cassandra, you observe no changes.
Okay. Nothing happened. Then
Nothing.
yeah.
I was hoping kind of the anti magic might scramble it a little bit so that maybe we could have figured out some sort of
It was worth trying.
temporary solution to at least try to block them out. But yeah, it's gonna have to think harder about this.
Cassandra, roll a double insight check for me.
Okie dokie. Why not? Come on, double six. I got a 4.
Okay. You don't notice any changes. Sorry.
It's okay.
All right. Anything else Levine, Edgar, and Cassandra want to accomplish while here?
Handing out tea.
Yeah, Cassandra just came to talk about the compass. Maybe, I guess, how's your arm coming? It looks like your arm repair went well, Edgar.
Oh yeah, it's best I can, really. I mean, it's tough because I never really I'm not the one who built this. I've just been maintaining it for a long time.
Oh, okay. So there's like a difference in like taking care of something if you didn't make it yourself.
Yeah, well, it's a question of understanding, right? It's a
Yeah.
lot easier to know when you've built it from scratch instead of making modifications on top of it. But I'm getting to learn it really well.
You
Yeah.
doing all right, Edgar? Levine wants to ask that in particular.
Gives a thumbs up in the proper direction this time.
Levine gives a thumbs up back. She feels a little guilty that when she had to choose, she picked Blair without a thought, without realizing Edgar was in danger. Even though she really probably shouldn't, but she does.
Levine has survivor skill. Let's be real.
No, yeah, that's her whole theme, so I'm just adding that in wherever I can.
Hey, I'm the young inventor who survived, and I'll continue to be so.
Yeah.
Right on.
I think Cassandra is probably, like I said, we talked about earlier, she's just trying to like hold it together, keep it routine. So I think once she realizes that everything's like winding down here, she's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna go like, look around the ship and make sure everybody's doing okay. And just like wander off away from Edgar and Levine.
Levine will probably do the same and search out Blair and Zinnia. So and Zither.
I'll take a sip of the tea that it was brought. Is it like a weird tea?
Got some chives in it, parsley.
He's
There's
sensitive.
cinnamon. You could definitely tell there was once chicken skin in there.
Oh, I
Some
will
sugar,
say
some kind of sugar. You're not really sure what the
Cassandra's
flavor.
teacup.
This is not tea. This you made soup.
I will say to give like an insight to both of you about Cassandra's mindset right now. Cassandra's teacup is empty. She drank the whole thing and then like before she left.
Damn.
Good soup.
Good soup.
All right.
I'd say. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Levine is filled with new confidence now after how much Cassandra loved that.
All right. Cassandra, roll a double willpower.
Everything's fine.
Yeah,
No,
Nate.
nice.
Okay. You start to feel a little bit queasy, and for a moment, you reconsider having drunk all of that tea from Levine. But then you realize that the feeling in your stomach is not a biological process. The voices are getting louder and louder at this now that you are alone. And
I'm gonna walk faster and like try to find Zinnia
you are
and Blair
you
if she can.
you hear through all of the others not attempting to focus on it an unnatural inhuman voice that says your soul will join ours. And then the just as quickly as the feeling hit you, you realize you look up and your vision clears a little bit and you feel a little bit better and all of the voices are quiet.
Yeah, I will say, Cassandra, in that like as everything's quieting down, she'll just kind of be like look at the compass on her that's now on her wrist and be like, yeah, I kind of already assumed that, and just keep walking.
Okay. Sorry, who's finding who next?
I'd
Levine's
say.
looking forward.
Oh,
Yeah,
go
I'll let
ahead.
Blair go. You can go. I've already done my stuff. I'll let you go.
I would just say Blair's still kind of lingering close to camp and stuff, or wherever the tent was, and just drinking water and kind of processing everything, but not really going anywhere.
Okay.
I think then Levine would find Blair and give her a cup of that tea, or them a cup of that tea.
Oh, thank you. Did you make it?
Yes. Who else?
Blair makes a smile and just kind of lifts the cup up to give an experimental sip, and just hopes it's good on the way down.
Okay. Do you sip it?
Yeah.
Double willpower check.
Levine, why do you do this to us?
Makes you stronger.
Does it? Because we almost got clapped last time. Alright, let's see. 2d8s.
That's why it's even more important.
Alright, here we go. A 7.
7.
Yeah.
The taste hits you. It's like kinda it starts out fragrant and kind of smooth, and then when you get more than just a little bit on your tongue, it's like smoked ass, basically.
Ass mash! I'm sorry, you cut out right at the end of that S.
and whichever you prefer, honestly. And there's
Sounds about right. Yep, that's how I imagined it.
you manage to swallow most of it down, but a little tiny dribble exits out the corner of your mouth and escapes. You can't quite manage to get it all down without losing just a little bit of it. It's something.
Yeah, so Blair's about to compliment at the beginning of it, and then it's just like the typical anime thing where like the ghost of your soul just like exits you. Just she leans back and it's just like, did I just really drink this? Like, oh no.
Levine's gonna wipe it off the corner of your mouth with a napkin, but because it's like weirdly viscous, it kind of sticks to your mouth a little bit, and some of the napkin gets left on your mouth, and it's like, sorry about that. How are you holding up after the fight?
Blair's just gonna daintily address that and try to recompose themselves and say, that encounter was not expected, and I was really worried about everybody. Um, you know, Zinnia, you, Edgar, Cassandra. I just felt like there was almost a loss for hope for a minute, you know?
Well, you did well. All of you did. And then she tips her or taps her cup, takes a swig.
And how about you? Are you okay?
I need to fix my armor soon.
What's wrong with it?
It's hard to get on right now. I
Are
need
you
to get the molten parts off of it and go from there.
are you still wearing parts of it, or
She's wearing her she put on her iron bark plate, so she's got more wood on at the moment.
is that something that you're able to do back in Denova, or to get your
Gimme and
armor repaired?
Jenks. Gimme and Jenks will be able to help us. But hopefully it won't be too much of a problem.
That's good. Have you seen any of the others? Is Cassandra okay? Or Edgar? Zinnia?
Sandra is hearing things. Edgar's arm is
I'm sorry, wait, what?
what?
You said Cassandra's hearing things?
Yeah, something about Tristan and what's his name? Her name, Desdemona. And yeah, it's probably about it. It's probably nothing to worry
Blair
about.
has this like alarmed look and then just like reaches out to Levine, grabs Levine's arm and is like, take me to Cassandra immediately. Like,
Okay,
where is she?
okay. How careful I got birds.
Alright, let's go. And
So I
follow.
guess Blair and Levine are gonna try to find Cassandra and probably Zinnia.
Okay. Let's see. If Zinnia is available, where does Cassandra and later Blair and Levine find you?
I am available, but I don't know where I am.
You're on a ship, having just woke up from the night before. So
Oh, okay. I heard
yeah.
someone mention a campfire. I got really confused.
So I guess to be clear, mostly we're using the tent item to recover, but you were able to sleep on the ship essentially, just using your bedrolls and the quarters available to you and everything. But to actually recover the hit points and magic points, the tent was consumed. But you're all on the ship.
Uh, if Edgar is willing, I think Zinnia would be trying to help him fix his arm.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So as Cassandra and Levine leave, Zinnia walks in to check in on Edgar, and eventually everybody kind of finds their way into this place in the hold, which is um, relatively this is mostly a storage area, right, for most of the cargo on the ship, food stores, that kind of thing. And so most of the crew are above deck working and getting ready to set sail at this point, and all of you have now actually gathered together, while Edgar is doing some fine tuning on his arm.
I'll pour out my last of my tea and have the cups ready for everyone to dig in. Zinnia, how are you feeling after the fight?
But I'm really sad about that bird that exploded.
That's
What?
understandable, Zinnia. Cassandra's gonna like rub her hair. I get it.
Levine is just so confused.
It might still be fine.
I wanted it to dive at Desdemona. I didn't realize that her shield was still up, and it exploded. Almost like it was hit by a really fast ball. Did not survive.
My condolences, I think. Did we know this bird? Levine's gonna like whisper to Blair.
No, I don't believe so. I only
Oh,
knew
okay.
of the Zithers one, the cat.
Okay. Just
This
want to make
must
sure.
be a new one.
Levine's gonna start looking around for other small animals that might be hiding on the ship.
Make a double insight check for me.
Particularly in the room we're in, just to make sure there's no companions I'm missing. I rolled a 9. I decided to roll with my real dice.
Okay. You find kind of what you would expect to find. Lots of insects, maybe a rat here or there. But then you noticed something unusual while you were on the deck of the ship looking around. There seemed to be a couple of small, dark-colored bird shapes in the air, and they seem to be making relatively wide, sweeping arcs centered around your ship.
That doesn't seem overly friendly. I think I'm gonna convey this to Zinnia, actually. Are those your friends up in the sky? Because that's not what I was expecting to find.
What kind of birds are they?
Levine could not tell from that distance. They are flying high enough that all Levine could really tell is that there are these small black shapes well above the ship.
Might need to get like Amigai binoculars or something.
I don't know, I'm picturing Levine just putting their arms out and like flapping to get the bird's attention. I'm sorry. Like, I just see Levine doing it outright.
You know what? Sure, yeah. She's gonna go. Caw, caw. Why not? See, like what they do.
Okay.
She's gonna intimidate them.
Make a willpower and dexterity check, please.
Yo, it's I'll roll this on the thing here. It's a very important check, so nice. I got a 12.
Okay. So, describe to me what exactly you are doing right now.
Okay, Levita's gonna look up at them, and she doesn't know what they're doing. They could just be normal birds, or they could be super evil. But she wants to make sure that they know that I see them. So I go, hey, hey, and like T-pose, and then just flapping super furiously, and it's like some jumping jacks, and then
Blair is definitely taking several steps back as this occurs. Like, what?
Okay.
Did Levine lose it?
So,
Blair's gonna look over at Edgar real
trying
quick
to gauge their response.
and just be like, I don't know, I just found out that Cassandra's hearing voices. Are you okay, Edgar? Like, what's going on?
Oh yeah, I'm not hearing their voices.
Okay. Alright.
Levine has to stop flapping because her arms are so sore from all the burns still. But she's like still trying to do it.
okay. So, you do it for a while, and nothing really changes with the birds. But when you turn away to start going below the decks and you take one last look behind you, you swear that the birds briefly form a pattern high above the ship that appears to be a stick figure doing a jumping jack before they split and begin circling irregularly as they had been before. You're not sure if you
Mocking
really
me.
saw that or not.
Levine is on guard. She's gonna pull out her sword as she goes below deck. And she's gonna convey that she thinks, I think we have somebody tailing us. Normally I would ask Zinnia for help there, but I think Zinnia or Penguin might be a little preoccupied. So I'll ask Edgar. Edgar, we need some details on these birds. I don't even know if Edgar's here either.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. Sorry. I had a personal message to answer, so I was a little
That's
distracted.
Levine lets Edgar know what he's seen, which is essentially a bunch of birds flying high above the ship in kind of an unusual pattern, and you get the distinct impression that Levine is pretty perturbed by this. But I would say you are not 100% sure. So I need somebody to help me refresh my memory. I'm pretty sure Levine went down first and then Edgar later in the battle, correct?
I think it was like on the same turn.
I think it was the
wasn't it?
same turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you both saw each other going down, essentially. And so you're not sure if Levine has cracked or might have some sort of residual emotional damage from the battle, or if this is a real thing. But from here, you're welcome to go and take a look, depending on how Edgar would view that.
And again, yeah. How I would view going down?
No, just the birds in general.
Oh, just the birds.
Yeah.
I'd be looking out for land. He doesn't know too much, so it's like, oh, well, are we close to land? Is that why there's birds here?
You say this kind of out loud in general, and you hear a couple of the crewmates say that you are near land. You can actually see it. You folks are you've been following the coast, essentially. Ships don't tend to go out into the open water unless they are sailing to a western continent going eastward. But since you folks are mostly headed north, you're going to kind of keep in time with or in line with the coast as much as possible to help navigate or in case there's an emergency. So land is well within view, and one of the sailors lets you know that it's not unusual to see seabirds around over the ship looking for food or just being curious about what it is. They do note, though, that it's unusual for the birds to fly so high above the ship, and that from what they can tell, these don't appear to be making the noises of normal seabirds.
I wonder, are they...
And in fact, they are not making noises at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, are these even real birds, or are they just like? I guess I'll try to observe their movements to see if they have that kind of like natural rhythm, or if they feel like mechanical in nature.
Okay, make a double insight check for me, please.
Twin sight. 9.
Okay. So, best you can tell, the circling nature that they're doing it seems too irregular. You take a look at one bird in particular who seems to be making circles in the same clockwise direction over and over again, but it's not a regular enough circle or shape between revolutions to give you a thought that they might be mechanical. These seem to be creatures with a certain amount of natural chaotic movement to them. They're just really far away.
I don't know what the deal is with these things. Doesn't seem. It doesn't seem normal, as far as I'm aware.
If we can get Zinnia to help with us, that might be the only real option. Unless we get Blair, who is also pretty good at this stuff, but is Zinnia available?
I'm here.
Zinnia, can you tell what these birds are at all? Can you talk with them?
I'm guessing they sound like they're too far away to talk to. I was curious if there are other birds around that could tell us what's going on with these birds.
Make a double insight check. Holy smokes.
Whoa.
Damn. All right.
Cripes.
Okay. So that is definitely going to be a success. And what kind of opportunity would you like to take with this?
Oh boy.
I've got my opportunities list handy here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. Okay. I don't suppose we can have the pendulums show up on the boat as a plot twist.
I would say no at this point.
All right. Let's just go with the boring advantage then. So the next check performed by me or an ally will receive a +4 bonus.
Okay, sounds good. So, almost immediately, you just kind of whistle into the wind, and a nearby bird immediately comes down out of the sky and lands on your arm. What would you like to ask it or tell it to do?
I want to say, those birds up there are acting strangely. Can you tell us more about what kind of birds they are? Are those birds that are typically around here?
It says, "Hang on, I'll go check. Be right back." So, hang on a second.
Oh no.
Okay, so the bird flies high up into the sky, and comes back down and roosts on the railing of the ship, and proceeds to inform you that it is a group of ravens high above the ship. That they don't seem to be responding to traditional bird calls. Normally, when birds, even of a different species, find each other, they tend to be able to at least get a message across. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. They are, again, quiet and not really The bird tells you even all the way up there, they don't seem to be saying anything or giving anything away. But you know for sure that they are ravens, and they do seem to be centered on the ship.
Because I think Cassandra is, would she have heard everybody coming up to the deck at this point? Or, like, I just don't know how big this ship is.
Well, I think
Um,
at this point, one person went up, and then a couple more went up, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
been a while before anybody came back down, and so now, pretty much everybody's gathering on the top of the ship at this point.
Yeah, okay. I think Cassandra is going to be on the deck with everybody too. And trying to figure out, like, observing the birds in the sky as well, just because it is kind of an interesting phenomenon. And, like, they are, like, you said, like, are they, like, kind of, like, all floating, like flying around in, like, a circle, basically?
So they are generally seem to be circling. Now, the circles are of different sizes. Some of them are going clockwise, some of them are going counterclockwise, but overall, it seems to be erratic. They are not flapping their wings a whole bunch. They are mostly just kind of gliding around, seem to be conserving their energy going in a circle. And yeah, that's more or less what you see.
I think at
I
this
think-
point, You want to go?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, at that point, I don't know if Cassandra will spend too much time trying to figure out what they are. She'll probably, because she doesn't really know, and maybe we'll let everybody else focus on that and just kind of watch the birds.
Yeah, I
As they
think
move.
for Levine too, she's probably gonna want to we should probably take turns keeping watch on them for what they might do. Levine's gonna volunteer for first watch. During that time, she'll bring her armor up and start working on chiseling off the molten rock embedded in it.
Yeah, I will say
Would be
Cassandra
her
isn't like
plan.
watching them in like a way that's like, oh, these birds are going to hurt us. It's more so in like, that's really weird. I wonder why
Levine's
that's
ready
happening.
Levine's prepping
And
for a
she's just,
fight,
like,
so
watching the. Well, I like above the table. I personally know because like ravens are like tend to be like symbolism for like they're gothic like they're gothic birds for a reason. You know what I mean? So like it's like death, loss, like that kind of stuff. So I'm just wondering if this is like a whole symbolism thing that's happening. So I think that's what Cassandra feels like anyways too. Is like this like all these birds feel interesting. I wonder why they're here, and they make her feel. I think they probably make her feel her grief, but like not in a devastating way, but like in a more calming way. As she watches them, she's not being diligent or whatever, or waiting for a fight. I will say that.
Okay.
I will also say Blair is silently observing Cassandra after hearing from Levine that she's hearing voices, and there's like this like kind of
Oh,
nervous twitching, like fingers pressing together, like should I ask, should I not? Like I don't want to be another voice to add to the confusion, but
Oh, yeah.
I'm worried.
Yeah, Cassandra will
Edgar's
probably
arm
have
is
forgotten
still
she hasn't said
malfunctioning.
anything to Blair and Zinnia about it, because like now the bird thing is happening, so everybody got sidetracked a little.
Yeah, Blair's just treating the birds like birds. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal, but Levine did some crazy stuff to get the birds' attention, so Blair's like, I want to stay out of that, leave nature alone. So.
But ravens aren't normally seabirds, so it's very interesting that they're here.
Yes. That is
Yeah.
interesting.
Edgar Allan Poe's up there.
That's
What? No,
yeah,
I'm
that's
down
kind
here.
of the whole. Oh, maybe they're a message for Edgar.
Oh my
Maybe.
god!
It's a message for
Oh.
Edgar. That's what it is.
Okay. for now.
Zinnia's gonna curl herself up like the top part of a question mark and ask Edgar or somebody to curl up as a ball at her feet, like the bottom part of a question mark.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Well, no, let's not roll anything for this. So you folks make a question mark, essentially, down on the ground, and after standing there for a moment, the birds sort of form a question mark before dispersing. And go back to their normal flight pattern.
Okay.
Oh.
What happens if we try to shoot at them?
They formed a question mark? Okay. They made a stick person?
Alright. Zinnia's gonna flap around on deck for a little bit in the big circle that they're doing, and then she's gonna flak down below decks and see if she can get them to land.
Okay. So I would say at this point, the Zinnia goes down below decks, and you folks see one bird, one raven, begin to slowly descend down towards you folks. And it is low enough now that you can make out its features, and all of you see essentially what Zinnia had already conveyed to you, that this is a raven. This is a bird that does tend to feed on carrion, and it would be pretty out of place at sea. And the bird, as it comes down, almost seems to look at everyone on the crew individually for a short period of time. First, someone up in the crow's nest, and then the person who is at the wheel, and then someone, then Edgar, and then someone who's working on the rigging, and then it looks at Levine, and rather than looking at anyone else, it settles on Levine's shoulder and just looks at you with one enlarged iris and just kind of stares at Levine while standing on their shoulder.
Veen is going to hold out her arm and kind of like conjure some of her dark energy into her forearm and hand and see what the bird's response is to that.
Mhm.
Because this is bizarre.
Okay. So
Because she's not sure if it's afraid of that, why it's taking a weird interest in her, so she's going to see if it scares it.
So as you do so, the bird matches that energy, and it seems to have some sort of power over darkness that is similar to Levine's. I'd like everybody to roll an insight check for me, if you would, please.
Double insight.
Yeah, double insight.
Roll coincide. Let's go.
And I'll do it with this thing. Nice.
I have an 8.
Everyone
You got a 4?
Mhm. So let's see. Everyone except Edgar is looking at the the Raven and Levine, who seem to be kind of exchanging this unspoken message, Edgar takes another look around, and Edgar notices that the rest of the flock of birds seems to be descending towards the ship.
Folks, looks like they're all coming down at us.
Huh?
And all of you now take notice of the same thing. These birds are getting closer and closer, and their numbers seem to be increasing. And they keep getting lower and closer to the ship. And it is now to the point where there are so many of them that the deck of the ship is this constantly moving, twisting set of shadows that sort of mirrors what you would expect from the top of waves, right? Just as though this ship is awash in shadows, and they continue descending, and at some point the birds begin to lose their shape, and it is a dome blanket of darkness that covers this ship. And at this point, none of you can see anything, but you still feel the ship under your feet kind of rocking, and you hear the waves, and you hear some frightened chatter from the rest of the crewmates. What do you do?
As this is happening, I think she's going to walk towards the front end of the ship because it seems zoning in on her a little bit to hopefully give her teammates some room from whatever's going on. As like it's starting to engulf more, just to kind of get as far at the point of the ship to hopefully allow them to be able to see what's happening, because, yeah.
Well, you can see the Raven because it is still on your arm, essentially. But you are enclosed in this dark sphere that is so dark that you cannot see any of the rest of your compatriots.
Okay, I guess I'll just ask the Raven too. Is this your doing?
The Raven nods at you. And at this point begins to take flight. And as it does, you see you see that behind the Raven, a torch has been lit. And then another. And then another. And then another. And you can see that there's this big, gigantic line of torches in the wake of this Raven. And you begin to see the other members of your party. You are no longer on the ship. You seem to be in this void. And as the bird was flying, the sound of the waves, the rocking of the ship, the voices of the other crew seemed to fade away. And now it is you and your party of adventurers in this void with a couple of torches lit. And the bird, Levine, you hear in your, the bird returns to you and says, the bird says, "Let us see how fares your powers of observation and deduction? And then it flies off.
Crap.
This won't go well.
Here we go again.
All right.
So Levine's got her great sword on, her wooden armor, and she's not feeling super comfortable with this, but not as distraught just because she's familiar with darkness. But
All right. Let's see. Let's start with a double insight check from everyone individually for me, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what were the dice again?
Double
Double
insight.
insight.
Okay, thank you.
The roll of the day. 9.
nice,
Yes,
Cass.
six.
Ooh,
Oh,
Zinnia,
nice,
crit
Zinnia.
again.
Sorry, I read the Cass popped up right after I read that result. My bad.
I have an 8.
Okay.
I don't know if we ever used that +4 from before, by the way.
That's right.
See. Well, we can certainly add it at this point. And you have another opportunity to take or use how you would like. But for now, most of you, except for Zinnia, see a long line of 100 torches, approximately 100 torches, and some of them are lit. Zinnia, you immediately notice that there are exactly 100 torches, and you're not 100% sure what it is just by your cursory glance, but there's something weird going on here. The torches that are lit seem to be getting spaced further and further away from each other as it goes down the line. And that is what you folks see. What would you like to do?
I'm trying to figure out how much map Zinnia knows.
How far out from each torch can we, I guess, see? Like, where it seems like we're safe to move within?
So you can move pretty much from one end of the torches down to the other with no problem. You could keep going, but you would just be leaving things behind you and essentially a void.
Okay. This is Fibonacci.
Can I
or
use my
price?
information to know exactly which torches are lit? Or at least for some
Okay.
number of them?
So, you notice that the following, let's see. So, which torches are lit? So, where are you standing related to these torches?
No, I thought I was standing at one end of them, but they were trailing off behind us.
Okay.
That's how I'm picturing it.
So you were standing at one end of the torches. The first one in front of you is lit, and then the next one is lit, and then the next one is lit. The fourth one is not lit. The fifth one is lit. The 8th is lit. The 13th is lit. The 21st is lit.
21st and the 34th.
Yep. And then the
But
50th.
Zinnia knows all about nature, and she recognizes this pattern right away.
The 55th torch is lit. And that is it.
Wait, what about the 89th torch?
Well, maybe we need to light that one.
The 89th torch is not lit.
Yeah, we need to light the 89th torch.
I knew that too. Levine lied.
Alright, is that what you folks do?
Yeah, probably. I don't got anything else to suggest.
Okay. You folks light the 89th torch, and it, at first, nothing seems to happen, but you see the glow of all of the torches slowly begin to fade. They are still burning, but their red kind of becomes darker and darker and darker until what you see before you is essentially black flames. And then the void begins to peel away from the outsides, and the bright sunlight at this point momentarily blinds most of you, and when you blink your eyes back open, the torches are gone and you are back on the ship. And there are no longer any ravens in the sky, but a single raven lands on Levine's shoulder and says, "Very good. You may call us when you need us." And you now have access to the Arcanum that we talked about, Levine.
All right. I'll have to make sure I get the notes for that prep proper.
And we can figure out more about what specifically that means. But for now, you pass the birds test and are able to summon them if needed in battle. And yes, this was a Fibonacci sequence, and of course the statistician rolled the crit immediately on this. It's awesome.
That's so funny. That's funny.
But it does absolutely make sense that Zinnia, who is in touch with nature, would have observed this ratio many, many, many times.
Okay.
All right. What would you folks like to do? It is still very early in your day.
Blair is just like, what just happened?
They're just kind of looking at Levine, being like, "What's up?"
Levine's kind of checking too to make sure there's not like birds hiding on her somewhere, but and then she shrugs like, I don't know.
Today seems like a big day for unanswered questions.
Levine's actually sweating, like her heart was pounding that whole time. She had no idea what's happening. I think we should probably start moving soon.
So,
Is what Levine will say.
were those not real birds?
Magic birds.
Everything is
Questionable
magic with all of
birds.
you.
Both the Raven, nevermore. Real.
Let's see. Edgar, if you want to check if they were real birds or not, you can make a double insight check if you would like.
Well, I'm pretty sure they weren't real birds at this point.
Okay.
But, they might be with the 7.
This was the birds behaved as birds do. However, you get the distinct impression that despite flying and acting like birds, that there was something magic involved in their gathering and behavior.
All right. I write that down in my notebook.
Is the crew okay now? Are they?
The crew is Mostly, they were a little bit confused at what happened. It seems that they weren't actually inside the same void that you folks were. You guys temporarily disappeared from vision, and since you guys were anchored, you more or less reappeared out of a void on the ship again. And so they have, at this point, checked in to make sure you folks are okay before the captain asks, well, shall we set sail, or do we need to turn around? What's the situation? We've got all the repairs done, but we know that you folks have been going through some pretty supernatural trials lately. Do we make for nearest landfall? Do we turn back? Do we keep going? What are we doing?
Blair
think-
looks at the party.
I think we should keep going forward. I think
Yeah,
that's all
how
we
far
can
have
really
we
do.
sailed again?
One day or something like that.
Yeah, but like, how far is that on the map?
So
We're
there's
still by the.
you folks are still in the Kingdom of Denova range. So
Yeah.
right up about 1 square above where you are right now, Dragon. Kind of by that little inlet there.
Okay. That makes sense. I think. I mean, we could definitely make landfall up there if you guys wanted to, but I also. So my question was, like, are we the only people that hired this ship with them?
Yes.
What kind of ship? Okay. Is
Although
this just like a charter ship where like they sail people around, or is it like a merchant ship that we were able to tag along with?
this was a chartered ship, I believe.
Okay. So I thought. Cassandra's gonna kind of look at the crew, I guess, because like part of it would be we need to ask what's their faces.
Tiberius and
Yes,
all
thank
of
you,
them.
Tiberius and Elena. If they also, because like if we do stop up there at that inlet, we could, because it's kind of right at that border of the North Denova jungle and the Denovan foothills. The foothills are they like more of a plain or a desert?
Neither. They are
Yeah.
they are foothills.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm trying to, because like it looks, because the color of it looks like a desert, so that's why it's confusing.
Yes. So to the north of that is the Koga Desert, which is definitely a desert. The Denovan foothills are rolling grassy hills, relatively safe traversal if frequently uphill and downhill.
I guess, but I think Cassandra, that's what Cassandra would do, is like, because I'm assuming we have a map of the area.
Mm-hmm.
She'd probably pull out a map and consult with everybody and kind of explain the idea of, so we could make land at this inlet right up here and then travel to the Denovan foothills on land if you guys wanted to get off the water. Otherwise, we can just make land and get supplies and then get back out and continue going north. I think those are the best two options.
I have no objection. I just want to make sure everybody gets their stuff taken care of, like Levine's armor fixed and whatnot.
Yeah, my stuff will probably have to be at the Dark Armor Mountain, so. But we do, having IP points would probably be good too, so I guess if there is a location we can try to restore IP points, that might be handy, because I don't know how much everyone has, but I have 0.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to stop somewhere.
Yeah, at least like see if there's a little port place where we can stop in, get supplies. Maybe buy a couple tents extra, if that's allowed.
Yeah, I guess whatever next location we can get to, to get supplies by water. I'm not sure what that would be, but that would seem to make the most sense.
Okay. The captain tells you that there are no ports in the North Denova jungle, or the swamplands for that matter.
No.
He tells you that, well, let's find out. Let's do a group check that is going to be double insight, searching for a port. As a reminder, Zinnia, you do have an opportunity, if you would like, that you could use to enhance this. But essentially, what you're rolling for is whether or not there is a port here before you hit the North Denova jungle.
So should we have Zinnia do that for us?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Sure.
Why we could do Cassandra too, actually. Cassandra
No.
is okay.
my two little D6s for insight. No, thank you.
I could lead. I've done so well with these. Oh wait, were we supposed to do a group check?
Go ahead.
Oh, I already rolled a 17.
So the rest of you are adding +1 to this at best. Your difficulty level would be 10.
And this is double insight again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got an 8.
10.
I did not get the +1.
All right. So
4.
nobody else was super helpful. Hang on, did Blair roll 1 as well?
Yeah, I rolled IRL 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah.
So the total result is 18. Let's see. So you definitely do find a small port town amid rocky shores here, and you well, what are you looking for while you're in town?
Should we?
Refilling inventory points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't sure if we should just travel on foot or still take them up north, but I figure we should still take them up north. Be faster.
I will say, because where did Elena and Tiberius want to go, or do they just want to go anywhere else?
It was up in the swamp area, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yes, they want to go to the swamplands for some reason. I remember it.
There was exotic food. There's like the only location you can stop off, I guess, past the Denova jungle. It was like some. That's what I. As far as I remember, it was like something way up there.
They were happy to go wherever you folks were going and to basically stop there. So if you wanted to, you could drop them off here. It's up to you.
Only if they're okay with it, because we are definitely going to travel farther north, and if they want to come with us that way too.
I feel like they did almost die when the ship was on fire, so they might
Yeah.
be cool with staying behind.
It'd be good to check in with them.
So you get the impression that this is mostly a small fishing village that is subsisting based on the food that they can catch and possibly some food and timber from the edge of the North Denova jungle. It seems pretty quiet. And people are generally good-natured and helpful, but going about their busy day and taking care of everyone else in the village.
Okay. And how much does? I guess we should. How much is what's the pricing for restoring IP here?
So
I forget about that.
let's see.
So
I think
it's 10.
I think it's 10 base.
Okay.
I'll go with Levine
Inventory.
to find the place to refill my inventory points. I think Cassandra too, though, will be on the lookout for tents that she could purchase. Because like Zinnia had a tent, or did she create the tent?
So everybody
it's
has.
just a 4IP thing.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody has the tent, and we could just pitch it using inventory points.
Yeah,
That's
just
correct.
like your potions. You don't have a
Okay,
specific
okay.
Yeah,
item,
it's
you
all
just-
abstracted away.
I just
I'm gonna
wasn't
say
sure if there was
Levine
like.
totally sweated through her bedroll, and so now I need to get new ones.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
She got a little heat sick from all that lava.
It was filled with chicken skin.
Okay, so inventory points are a little bit scarce here. You can buy a total of. Hang on a second here. What do they use them for? What it's for? You can buy a total of 11 of them for 10 zenith each, and you may distribute them among the party how you would like.
Inventory points?
Yep. Amongst the party. So there's only 11 available. You folks decide who gets them and who's paying for them and so on. They're not more expensive, they just don't have a lot of them available.
I imagine we should probably give Blair and Zinnia a little bit of priority in that. Hey, I imagine for my character it would be pretty low.
I'm okay since Zinnia put down the tent, so I'm okay on IP.
Okay. And probably Edgar too, right? Edgar makes good use
Yeah,
of IP
I mean,
points.
I'm down 8.
Yeah, I'd say I agree.
8 points, so... but I still have 4 left.
Oh dang.
I
Yeah,
have
but
one left.
you can use them for like that potion ring stuff and everything, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
All
refilling
of my stuff
Edgar and
is
Zinnia
inventory.
is the most important. And I'll pay for it.
But I can grab a few more if we get in a fight, but fortunately,
Yeah, I
I
get-
haven't learned how to scavenge while traveling yet.
So yeah, I say probably Mal and then the rest to Zinnia, unless we want to make sure Zinnia has a bit too. But
Yeah. How many do you need, Zinnia?
I should get at least 2 so I can find a potion in my bags if need be.
So
we could
okay.
you could do 8 Mal, 3 Zinnia, something like that.
I just need 2 more.
Just
I don't
okay.
need to grab my 8. Like I said,
Okay.
So let me do 6. Do 6.
Okay. And Zinnia gets 2. That leaves us with 3 more for Cass or Blair.
Yeah, just make sure you're in a position to use a potion or 2.
Yeah, I'm good. I got my IP, so whoever needs it.
And how many
It's
points
2
does
points per
Cass-
potion, right?
I thought it
Yes.
was 3.
3 points for a
3.
potion, 2
Okay.
for a status rebuff, whatever it's called.
Okay, I'll take 3 then too, so that way I can refill my MP if I need to.
I don't know if we have the.
If
Wait,
if you're
hold on.
taking
I took
6,
8 to
yeah.
3, 9. So then we have
Well,
2
it's
left.
2 left. Okay.
Zinnia would be taking 2.
Oh, right. So if you do 2 and 2, then or 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That would be 11 total.
Sounds good. Right.
And I'll pay for them.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
So I would say this stop eats up most of your day, essentially, making sure that you track down people and find the provisions that you need and restock after the battle. And I think that is where we should take a little break. Why don't we come back here at 11:30 Eastern to finish up the night?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
So, Is there anything else anyone wishes to accomplish in your brief pit stop to the fishing village before you continue on your way?
We should talk with the family and see if they're comfortable riding with us any farther north. What were their names again?
Tiberius and Elena.
Okay.
And Astrid. Yeah. Okay. So what precisely are you asking them, and choices are you offering them?
I think first, obviously asking them to, how are they holding up after everything that happened with the ship?
Much better now that everything seems to be in working order. They're kind of anxious to leave the ship sooner rather than later at this point. But overall, compared to their trials and tribulations with the commune, didn't seem like that big of a speed bump. They pretty much trusted you folks to have it under control.
Okay, I guess Levine will say to them too, you're welcome to come with us. We'll be traveling to the north end of Galaba swamplands. You are also welcome to stay here and do so if you wish to avoid any more conflicts that may come across our party. We still welcome you, but I understand how it could be scary to try and travel with us, especially with the long journey we still have ahead.
Okay. Go ahead and make a double willpower check for me, if you would.
You're nice. Frick! Why? Why is it so bad? I don't even know what to do with that.
They tell you that all things being equal, they think that they could make a life here, and that frankly they are pretty much ready to get on with it and happy to part ways here. And so Tiberius, Elena, and Astrid will now stay in this small, unnamed fishing village.
I feel like I just got a bad end for something. All
We'll
of the
see.
good days were...
Anyone else?
Zinnia wants to check in with the animals and make sure they're okay. If they're being treated nicely.
I mean, the fish are getting eaten, but that's a fish life for you. Most of
I mean, like the pets and livestock and stuff.
they don't really have too much in the way of livestock. Being a port town, there's somebody that keeps a couple of chickens who are, there's no shortage of space here, so they are pretty much free-range chickens that seem to be fed pretty well and seem to be happy. Most of the domesticated animals seem to be relatively happy with their owners. Yeah, that's the sense that you get.
Okay. Follow-up question. Did Jean-Philippe give me 1 purple ribbon or 2 purple ribbons?
Did you do a ponytail or pigtails?
I probably just have 1.
Right, well then, probably 1 then.
Well, I'm gonna give it to Astrid anyway.
Okay. Astrid gives you a great big hug. Being a powerful friend and role model who is essentially a similar stature to her, it's kind of the closest thing that she's had to a real friend in a long time, and she cries as she embraces you and puts a haphazard ribbon in her, or puts it haphazardly in her hair. It's a little off center and not quite gathered super well, but she's got it in
I'm gonna
there.
fix it
And
for her.
yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Edgar is probably just kind of supervising the removing of a giant crate off the boat. And whenever it's unloaded, because we're going by foot now, right? Just making sure with everybody.
I think we're still taking the boat, right?
Oh, are we? Then he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
doing that.
I would say, how is Edgar's arm doing? Is it fully repaired at this point?
I mean, there's some scuffs and stuff, but it's, I'd say, he probably got full functionality again.
I'm going to go ahead and say that for you probably spent most of one day getting that arm back up to full functionality. And so don't count a day of progress for the day spent in this fishing village, but otherwise, from here on out, you'll continue making progress on your next project if you have one.
Right. Yeah. Right now, I don't currently have one, but yeah.
Okay.
I could work on some smaller projects as we travel.
Then I'll go ahead and say if nobody else has anything, you folks are able to spend the night without spending a tent because you are in town essentially and safe. I do want to let you know I forgot at the beginning of the stream, but I need to advance the clock on the Elonian expansion. It is up to 8 out of 12 sections. But I don't think there are any other clocks that are being altered currently that are at the attention of the party. So it is the next day. You folks are stocked up. Would you care to continue your journey towards the Dark Armor Mountains? Or
I
is
vote yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Let me do a quick calculation here on how long it's going to take you to get to the rest of the Dark Armor Mountains. Levine, can you place your cursor on Foundry approximately where you think Jimmy and Jenks would be located at in the Dark Armor Mountains?
Right about here. Can you see it?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is going to be about 7 days travel to get there.
So far.
So we are going to have to do a travel roll over the period of 7 days. So would anyone in particular like to take the first one?
Technically, I took the first one. You know, that went well. I can do it again.
Sure.
I feel so uncomfortable with this. Alright.
So I am going to need you. So I think Zinnia as a wayfarer has the improved travel rolls. And
That is correct.
so you reduce the die size by 1 for your travel rolls. So I need you to roll. We're not on the open sea, so I'm going to call this normally a D10 roll, and with the improvement, a D8 roll for each day. So let's roll one day at a time. You folks can change whenever you want to, if everybody wants to take a turn or however you want to do it. But let's start with day one.
Okay, and how do I roll in Foundry with that? Just /D8 or something?
Roll.
/roll D8, I think.
/roll D8. Nice, a nice high roll again. So good at that. Got a 7.
Oh yeah, we want low, right?
Yes,
yeah,
you do.
I'm really good at rolling high. That's how I got us in the reef. That's how I got Desdemona to try to burn down her ship. You know, I'm really good at this.
Okay. So, at the end of your second real day of travel,
I'm cursed, guys. I'm cursed.
A little bit, yeah.
A storm rolls in, and the seas begin battering your ship, and you have nowhere to really moor your ship at this point. Your only choice is to attempt to weather the storm. And so, what I would like each of you to do is to make a let me know how you are assisting with the ship in the storm, and we'll make an appropriate roll based on that. And based on the number of successes and failures, your ship may or may not survive the storm. Boy, it's a good thing you offloaded those passengers, though, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, so what is everyone doing?
I guess Levine will mostly be trying to help with the sails, keeping them from blowing away, but also trying to keep them from breaking.
Okay, so your role is going to be strength and dexterity then, when we get to it. Who else?
Cassandra's definitely on the deck, trying to help secure things and stuff like that.
We have
tie things
Cassandra at the
down.
wheel.
There's already a captain.
Fair,
Cassandra
actually,
doesn't
yeah.
need to be like, oh, excuse me, captain, let me just scooch on in here. That's a little rude. So she's just
Maybe
gonna like do her best to like go back to like being a crew member and kind
Yeah,
of like
that's fair.
secure as many things as she possibly can and like think of safety and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm going to say insight and dexterity for Cassandra. Who's next?
I think Edgar's gonna be on bilge pump duty, just making sure the water's not accumulating in the ship.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I would say insight and dexterity for Edgar as well.
Beautiful.
I think we have Zinnia and Blair left.
I can check maybe to see if there's like rowboats to make sure they're secure, that they don't get lost in the storm. Because, you know, knowing our luck, we gotta make sure we have a contingency plan.
Okay. I'm going to say strength and willpower for you.
Okay. Do you want me to roll it now, or?
Yeah, I guess
We'll have everybody. Sorry. We'll have everybody roll it once. What's Zinnia doing to help out?
I think she's inspired by Blair, and she'll start trying to make sure they have everything in order in case they need to leave.
Okay. I would say
Supplies and whatnot.
insight and dexterity for Zinnia. So go ahead and roll your checks for this. Your difficulty class for this is going to let's call it a 12.
Okay. Failure.
Is there any chance I get to use Zither's dexterity instead of mine?
You could use a
I'll answer
Fabula
that question.
point to get a success there, Levine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
get that +1.
Yeah, let me how do I do that again? Oh yeah, invoke
You
bond.
gotta use it
push.
with a bond for that one, yeah.
I think it's gonna be admiration for Jenks, and like she's gonna make sure to see her boys again. Jenks and Gimme, but she's gonna
I
see her
can-
boys again. Gosh dang it!
I can use a Fabula point and then invoke my background to re-roll my roll, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I have two that. Can I do it twice in a row if I fail again? Is my other question. Oh, I did it!
I think so, but yeah. Okay.
But I did it this time. I got a success.
Holy.
That's better. 16.
That's
I got a 12.
Got a
Oh,
12.
nice.
Yeah.
nice.
We're gonna survive, guys. I think we're gonna survive.
Okay. So you folks battle for hours. Better part of 4 to 6 hours. You are hungry and exhausted, and just barely able to stay up on your own 2 feet. But the storm has essentially passed. When you take inventory of the ship, however, it appears that some of the sails were torn and some of the rigging destroyed. Your future travel days, we're going to take a penalty day, essentially, to fix this stuff up. Sorry, cats are going nuts here.
Kitty's angry. Kitties are angry with that decision the game master made.
I guess so. All right, so you folks drop anchor and assist with the repairs, but after another day of resting and getting the ship up and ready to go, you folks are ready to continue again.
Don't mind if I do.
Do note that I think we said the price of this was 20 zenith per person in transit, and we are on, maybe it was it? I'll have to go back and watch an old video and find out. But we are 4 days into this trip now, and we have 6 remaining to get there. So who's making the next travel roll?
I could, you
No.
know, I could totally.
No.
What does it have to be?
A D8.
Just a single?
Yep.
Single D8.
Alright, I'll do it. Here we go. An 8!
No, that's
No!
bad.
Right on. Let's keep
No!
going.
Wait.
That's bad!
It's bad.
I was excited because it was an 8 though.
We want
yeah.
low.
Dang it.
This is the one time we want low, and I've rolled like 7 or more in the past 3 travel checks.
So
So
Levine
which
and
is
Blair are
so
no
good at
longer
traveling.
allowed to roll travel rolls.
Okay, my bad.
maybe Blair's curse too. What does your clock say?
I blame the tea you gave me. It tasted like smoked ass.
You mean ash?
No.
That's how I made it through that storm.
Alright, I need a minute to sort this out. Give me just a moment. Figure out what comes next here. Okay. So, while you were on your journey on your 5th day, the ocean is relatively still and quiet when suddenly the ship is rocked by this loud bang that causes it almost the entire ship to sway in one direction briefly. And for a moment, everyone is checking around the outside of the ship to see if you have struck a rock or a coral reef or run aground in some way. And having found nothing, you folks continue on. And everybody is looking at the water and trying to figure out what has happened. I would like anyone who is interested to roll an insight.
I don't trust my dice right now.
Same, but it is what it is. All right, double insight. You know, a nice solid 7.
I got 11.
I also got a 7. A lot of 7s. We got 3 7s. That's usually good.
We also got that 7 with a D8, so like it's just the number of the day.
Lucky number 7.
If I see another 7, I'm a puke.
All right. What did Blair roll in here as well, or no?
Oh no, I'm sorry. So is it 2 insight?
Yeah, 2 insight.
My bad, guys. Sorry. Okay. 9.
9? Okay. So, Cassandra, you see several silhouettes in the water that are moving rapidly towards the ship. And right before you think it is about to strike the side of the ship, these 3 creatures jump out of the water. And so what you folks are seeing is essentially what is on page 317 of the rule book. But I've changed the actual stats on it a little bit, so try not to pay attention to the stat block. But you are seeing what appears to be a gigantic flying shark with 2 slightly smaller creatures that you have heard tales about are called thornfish. And Cassandra, you having seen these coming, are able to duck and take cover. But the rest of you are taken by surprise and are potentially going to take some damage here before we roll initiative. So let's see. Let's have... So I have a 15 to hit against Blair.
That meets.
Okay. And that will do...
Am I allowed to do protect for a surprise roll? I imagine not.
No. You
Yeah,
are going
that
to
makes sense.
you are going to take 15 ice damage, and you are slowed.
Okay.
And the other one. Sorry, this is definitely an unplanned encounter.
GM's getting too many battles on us with all these high rolls.
Well, I tried to give you guys something slightly easier, but didn't.
No, yeah.
The dice have spoken. I have some of them, but not the third monster here. Alright. Find out who the next one is going at. This one is at Blair again. This is an 11 to hit. First.
It
Okay. So that is going to be 12 ice damage. And we're already slowed.
And it's just regular defense, right? Sorry, I was assuming it was.
That's alright. And then we have Levine, you are targeted by an ocean jet attack as well. This is an 11 versus your defense.
Hits.
Right. That will be and 13 ice damage against Levine. And alright, so this massive thorn shark has jumped into the air, and this coordinated assault happens on the deck of your ship, and Blair and Levine appear to be taking the brunt of it. They spit out these huge jets of salt water at your party, and you folks take damage. I need you all to roll initiative, please.
Alrighty.
Also, hello, Raiders.
Raiders? Is that Dex and Insight or
Thank you,
something?
Strizer, for the raid.
I'm gonna close this because I don't want spoilers.
Oh yeah, I got raided in too.
All right. So we need the initiative check.
Yep.
Who's leading it? Is it me?
Could be you.
Sure.
Cause we could say Cassandra and Edgar, because you guys. No wait, Cassandra, because she got the.
Because I noticed it was happening.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a
probably
12,
makes more
by the
sense,
way.
yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna roll individually then.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't think about that ahead of time, but I just rolled
Yep.
Dex and Insight.
So that should be
Wow.
dexterity plus insight for everybody for initiative.
Yeah, we got 2, 11, 12. I think that's plus. And
So it's-
Blair with
The
nine,
11
so-
should be 9 for Zinnia.
Oh, it should be a
Yeah.
9.
2?
Oh, okay. So it's
Is
just
it plus 2
yeah.
then? Okay.
Yeah.
You got this, Cass. Cassandra.
Dexterity hit insight
Like
plus 2.
Cassandra.
Yes.
12.
Right on. Right
Nice.
on.
Let's see, what was our final roll on the group check here?
A 12.
A 12? Okay. So the enemies have 1 initiative. There are 3. So let me take a look at what we got here. So first, the giant shark is going to go and rolls an 18 to hit against Cassandra.
It hits.
Okay. And that is going to do a massive 19 physical damage to Cassandra. And so this shark appears to you to actually be able to float and glide through the air as it jumps from the ocean and makes its attacks each round. It is the party's turn.
Oh no, it's Shark Week again, guys.
Oh no, we
Nice.
still have quite a few days of travel, so it's gonna be a lot of sharks.
I played Multiverses. I'm ready.
I'm okay to hold it back on my turn if someone wants to go first.
I mean, I think what I would mostly do is Wand of Iceberg or try to enrage one of them. That's like kind of things I'm looking at.
And if you haven't marked it already, Levine.
Ah, okay. I will do that then.
Sorry, I got it for Blair, but I forgot against Levine.
Okay.
All right. Well, who wants to go? Who wants to go first?
So wait, I have a painful lesson where if I take damage from an enemy, I can perform a study action on them.
Mm-hmm.
Would you allow me to do that for the guy who hit with the jet attack?
Sure.
Okay, what happens if I just... Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check for like any possible weaknesses they might have.
Okay.
And,
What's your skill level for this?
just a +1, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah. So a +1 to a study action, which I think insight and... Yes, insight and insight.
Okay. Show me big money. Hey, that's so close to a 7, but
Okay. So you're going to get a little bit of information based on this. So this is a...
I did get a 6, by the way. Just to be clear.
Well,
I
you
got
get
less than a 7.
you get a +1 modifier from painful
Oh,
lesson,
yeah.
right?
I'm
So-
done. You're correct.
Yep. So you are able to discern from this creature's attacks that it is being a water-based creature. It is probably going to have resistance to fire, but beyond that, you aren't really able to discern anything else clearly from it.
All right, let the party know. Don't hit it with fire. Yeah.
All right, who's up? Someone other than Blair.
Right. Well, I'll go first. What did I leave my gun as last time? Can't remember. I was set to physical. I'm gonna try to go fishing for a vulnerability. So I'm gonna take a shot at. You said there's like other ones with them. There's not just the one target, right?
Yeah, so there's one larger shark and 2 smaller fish that appear to be similar in nature but smaller.
All right. Well, I'm going to reconstruct my magic cannon as a bolt weapon.
Okay.
I'm going Final Fantasy logic on this.
Nice.
All right, go ahead and roll an attack.
I'm gonna try to attack the small one.
Okay. There are 2 small ones, but they're the same health right now, so go ahead.
Dang.
16 to hit.
16 will definitely hit, so the damage, you notice that you level your arm and take careful aim at one of the smaller fish, having reconstructed your magic cannon to use lightning element energy, and it shocks and sizzles this fish with with great vigor. This seems to have done additional damage to the creature.
Ah, fantastic.
All right.
Oh, something I almost forgot. I reduced all my damage taken by 1 while wearing martial or armor or shield, so
Nice.
Okay.
I made that correction now.
All right. So add 1 to your HP then. The other fish that that Edgar didn't target is going to make an attack here. Let's find out who. Looks like we have a 14 to hit against Blair.
Ow. Yeah, that means.
Okay, and that is going to be...
I think I'm gonna protect that one.
Okay, that is going to be 19 damage.
Oh boy, I almost didn't want to do it now.
Sorry, 19 physical damage.
Is that all taken by Levine then? Or...
Sorry, what was that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Levine.
Technically, it was only 18, so could have been worse.
Okay. Party's up.
Also, can I make a study check for how much health this creature has?
Can you use Painful Lesson against the same creature more than once?
I can, but it can't be like the same thing. I think I'll double check. Though.
Yeah,
Features.
it says remember you can study the same aspect of a creature only once.
Oh, okay. So the one that attacked you specifically,
Yes.
it has 68 HP. Oh, wait.
I-
Well, go ahead and
Yeah,
roll
that's-
it. But I might be able to give you...
Yo, I got a 7.
Yeah, there you go. It has 68 HP.
Nice. Good to know. Is that the small one or the big one?
It is the small one that just attacked you.
Okay. That's a pretty good amount of HP on this little guy.
Alright, now for real, the party's turn.
Want me to enrage the big guy? I don't think that's good for me, actually. Want me to blast him with my Wand of Iceberg?
So you do what you need to do.
Alright, you know what? I'm gonna cast my Wand of Iceberg on these guys. Now, I forget exactly what this does, but
Cast iceberg.
Let me see what we've
Question
got
mark?
here.
You had it
Oh, yeah, I should
earlier
go to-
where it was actually casting you.
yeah, this is the one.
Whoa.
It's a nice roll there.
7 to hit
Yeah.
though.
I
Let's
don't know,
see.
maybe it has really low magic defense. You don't know.
Maybe I should re-roll that willpower.
It's up to you.
Alright, I'm gonna invoke my guilt of the fact that I was completely useless last battle as far as damage was involved. And I am going to blast these stupid fish out of the water. Yep, that sounds about right. I got instead of a 7 to hit, I got a 6 to hit. Does that count now?
That's rough.
Instead.
Okay, so you pull out your Wand of Iceberg and attempt to make a... It's your first time using it, and it's when someone says iceberg with no other context, they think of a giant iceberg. You think this thing is going to throw out a couple small ice cubes, maybe something as big as your arm, not this massive ice flow. And so unfortunately, you throw it out there and it rises, and you try with all of your might to correct its course, but it seems to only get further away from the creatures and lands in the water with an enormous splash, harming nothing and mainly just getting you with a bit of cold water.
Imagine rolling high on an accuracy check with a D8. Imagine that, guys, and not a travel roll or a damage to myself roll.
I think we have one more thornfish here to roll for, and then I'm out. That is going to be a 14 to hit against Blair. I'm rolling all ones on my D4.
Why are they just so angry?
And it's a 14 against magic defense?
Regular defense.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Okay, that is going to be 17 physical damage to Blair.
Not gonna lie,
Ow, I'm in crisis.
I half
I'm in
expected
danger.
Levine's wand of iceberg to just launch out some iceberg lettuce.
She's very hungry.
Check the Discord.
Oh,
Nice.
All right. It is the party's turn. The enemies have used. Oh wait, nope. The enemies have one more turn. Sorry. Yep. Go ahead.
So we can go? Or
Yes, but there will be one more enemy turn that I almost forgot about.
Sandra, I think we need you here now to deal some damage. But maybe
That's
Blair should
fair.
heal too, or something.
I was wondering something. Since I saw them coming, because I've been wondering this for a while, but I wasn't sure if it would be possible. But since I saw them coming, could I have, since they are like coming at the ship away from me, I feel like Cassandra would have had the insight as they were showing up to pull out her magic gun to like get ready to fight. Because the thing, because like you said, like I spotted as they were coming up, and I was able to like duck away. But I do also, because I'll spend the Fabula point if I need to switch it. But
I think it's fine as is to have selected that weapon from the beginning.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
you're
so
welcome
I
to
use
roll an
that-
attack with
yeah.
that if you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot them with that button. 12 to hit.
Against
Like,
what
against
target?
their magic defense. What part am I shooting? I'm shooting the big shark.
The big shark. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. That does hit, and as before, the lightning damage seems to affect it unnaturally well. So, sorry, brain is doing math here. Got it.
Too hot for math.
All right, so the shark gets one more attack here. Let's see. It has a 12 to hit against Cassandra.
It hits.
Okay. You take 16 ice damage and are slowed.
Nope, I think it's the wrong one.
Oh, you know what I just realized? When I used my Fabula point, I could have healed my slow with my one of my features. What was it? Indomitable Spirit. Would you still allow me to do that?
Take a look here. So, sorry, which class does that belong to?
Fury.
Yeah?
Okay, so
Yep.
just because I used that Fabula point and only got a 1, I figure I could try to get something out of it.
Yeah, I can't believe that's for free, but yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just if you spell a Fabula point. Seems
It's
pretty
not for
busted.
free. It's for an entire level.
That too.
I meant as, in addition to rolling,
Yeah.
it didn't have to spend another Fabula point for it. Spending one got the cleanse as well, which is alright. Who's up? I think we have Blair left and Zinnia.
How would you
Yeah.
feel if I tried to create an illusion of a giant whale shark or something to scare off all the fish?
I'm all for.
I'm
What?
talking about rituals in combat, baby.
I like this idea.
Hmm.
That's because I'm rolling like garbage.
So you could do that. Let me take a look at rituals real quick. I don't know how that is all going to play out for you. If that's what you would like to do with your turn, I can get working on that while the next person goes, if you would like.
So if I start to ritual, the next person might want to interact with the ritual to advance the clock.
Okay. Blair should probably heal themselves
Yeah.
too.
So
Fine with healing.
you are attempting to create an illusion of a bigger fish, essentially. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so in order for this to be successful, I would call this a medium potency ritual for creating an illusion, and the area is small since there is more than one creature here. So this would cost 60 magic points by all of those that are involved. Or 60 points total, and distributed among those involved.
Oh, phew, scared me.
Sorry, my bad.
So that sounds cool to me. And then people can take the objective action to try to advance the clock, I think is how it works.
I could see Levine doing that considering her attacks have been very bad for her recently.
So is it okay if I heal on this turn?
Yeah, I think this would be a good idea.
Okay, then I will cast heal, and I will heal myself. Do you two want healed, Levine and Cassandra?
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might as well, yeah.
Then I will heal you guys.
How much does that do again? 40?
Yeah, 40 hit points. Or, wait, yeah. Sorry. Yes, 40 hit points.
I'm at full.
Alright, so here's what we have for rituals during conflicts. And this is on page 121 if anyone needs it. So the Zinnia has essentially used the objective action to begin the ritual. So we've determined the ritual's discipline, area, and potency. A clock is immediately created with a number of sections based on that potency. So there will be a 6-section clock to create this illusion. Now that the clock is part of the scene, anyone can interact with it through the objective action. Like any use of the objective action, the game master will be the one adjudicating which attribute should be used for the check, as well as whether it has a fixed difficulty level or is an opposed check. This will have a fixed difficulty of 10 for anyone taking the objective action to advance the clock. The caster can perform the first check to fill some sections of the clock as part of the objection action they used to perform the ritual. So, I presume you are using ritual chimerism to do this, Zinnia?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so roll a standard chimerist spell check, which for you I think is willpower and insight.
Yep.
Okay.
Whoa.
Do we spend the magic now or when it goes off?
When it goes off. And so what we'll do is each person who fills a clock segment will spend magic points to make it fill. So every time somebody fills in a section, it costs 10 MP, essentially. And when it's full, you will have spent the 60 that you needed to do it. Make sense?
That sounds good.
Alright, so unfortunately with a difficulty level of 10, this clock remains empty for the time being. However, the clock is now available and anybody may use their turn in order to fill sections of the clock. And when the clock is filled, we will do one group check where everybody who helped fill the clock will be supporting Zinnia's roll to see whether it goes off or not. Okey-doke.
Sounds good.
Roger that.
Let's see, was there anyone else who had to go other than Blair and Zinnia at the end there?
I think we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Then we are back to the top of the round. And the Thorn Shark is going to go ahead and make another attack here. This one will be against Edgar. This is an 10 to hit.
Miss.
Okay. It is the party's turn.
I got 11.
So I'm probably gonna use my turn to dump 10 MP into the clock. So if everyone wants to do something before that, let me know. But
I just saw from the actual directions that you pay the mana once the clock is filled, and you do your actual final check.
Okay.
okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'll go first again.
Okay.
And I'm just now that I found the weakness, I'm gonna keep blasting, and I can multi 3
Okay.
these fish.
Alright, go ahead and roll an attack.
I'm probably going to.
At this point, that would miss everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna Fabula that dex.
Okay.
So I'm gonna think of all the shit that's happened on this boat so far, and how I managed to survive the last encounter, and I'll be the young inventor who survives this encounter as well by defeating all these fish.
Yep, your luck's got to change sooner or later. Go ahead and re-roll it.
It does have to change at some point.
I'm not seeing that myself, but hopefully you can.
No, same roll.
Nope, we're both cursed. Okay, good
Yeah.
to know.
Okay.
This entire boat is cursed.
So you wait for the perfect moment for all of these fish to jump out of the water, and the moment finally strikes, but unfortunately you hesitate just the slightest amount, having been a little bit shell-shocked by the previous set of battles, and your 3 shots ring out from your firearm, and it goes exactly where the fish were when you thought you pulled the trigger, but unfortunately they just barely escape your attack. Now their turn again. One of the small fish is going to make an attack here against Blair. That is a 14 to hit.
Oh my goodness, they hate me. That means.
Okay.
They do hate you.
That is 18 physical damage.
How kind of them.
Okay. Party's turn.
Alright, we have Cassandra. Do you want to do more bolt damage at the moment? Want to help fill up that clock? Does Cassandra know that she's mute?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was coughing earlier. I forgot to unmute. So for the clock, do we? I don't. For the objective action, do I have to do anything? Like roll for anything, or just?
Yes, you would. You would roll. You're essentially trying to contribute to a chimerism ritual to summon an illusion of a giant, like whale or whale shark, essentially, basically a bigger fish. And so, if you have no specific way that you are supporting this ritual, then you will roll insight and willpower the same as Zinnia, unless you were taking a specific action that plays to your benefit somehow.
I'll just try to shoot my magic gun one more time.
Okay. Who are you
At the
aiming
big
at?
Shark. That's the biggest shark.
Okay. Big one. Go ahead and roll.
A 12 to hit.
A 12 will hit.
And
16.
then it's 16 bolt damage.
So that'll be a total of 32 then. Alright. That shark is wounded, but still doing okay at this point.
He would be.
The other fish is going to take a turn here. Let's change that out for this. It's going to take a shot at Zinnia, seeing it do this ritual, I guess. That is a 17 to hit.
No way.
That is 15 ice damage, and you are slowed.
Okay.
It's the party's turn.
Anyone feeling like going?
I think if anyone has objections, I guess I'm gonna start pumping some energy into that ritual.
Go for it.
Okay, and the way Levine is going to be doing this is adding her dark energy to it to give it a very menacing energy.
Gonna make that whale shark look violent.
And that's insight willpower, you're saying?
I would say, since you are using Levine's dark energy, roll whatever dice you would normally use to do a shadow strike. But don't actually do a shadow strike.
Okay, so that would be, I guess, just might and dexterity, because that's, I guess, it's the same as her attack. So, should double check this, but
yep, that's fine.
Yeah, it's might die, so we'll do might and dexterity. 10.
All right, that succeeds. The clock is at 1 of 6. Alright, it is now the Thorn Shark's turn. It's the last one to go. It is making an attack against Edgar. That is an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
I'm gonna protect that one.
Okay, let me see. That is going to be 17 ice damage, and you are slowed.
Okay.
It
Math.
is-
I'm trying to do math.
It is the party's turn. I think the enemies are out of turns for the.
I think that's Blair and Zinnia, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you want me to contribute to the ritual, Zinnia?
That's what I plan on doing. I'm just gonna imagine the scariest fish I can think of.
Well, I know I've been getting beat up with the sharks, and I feel like maybe this ritual's the right way to go. So, what do I need to roll for this, Sidus?
If you are just assisting with the ritual with no flavor, then it will be insight and willpower.
I guess the only flavor I would add is my light, but yeah, just to kind of make it a blinding thing.
Okay. I would also say, as an orator, you could use a version of encourage to do this if it suits your stats better without actually spending the MP. So if you would, that's just another way that I could see you accomplishing this.
Yeah.
But make one of those 2 rolls.
Oh, with the insight?
Either what you would do for encourage, or if you don't want to do that, a straight insight and willpower.
I'll do the insane willpower just to be safe.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Let's see.
Difficulty level is 10.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, so that's 2 out of 6 section. Zinnia, you're up.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, jeepers!
It's not meant to be.
Ritual is not going well. Alright, top of the round. We have the Thorn Shark is going to make an attack against Levine. That is a 15 to hit.
That hits.
And that will do 19 physical damage.
Okay, so that's... Oop.
And then it is the party's turn.
Alright, I'll keep trying what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to reduce that action economy, so
Blast him.
I'm gonna blast. 11 to hit.
Against which target?
All 3.
All 3? That will hit all 3 of them.
Beautiful.
My goodness.
23 bolt.
Alright, so this time you're ready. This time your aim is true. And you shoot out this massive, massive blast of lightning energy. And you aim at where the fish are going to be instead of where they are. And manage to connect here. One fish is electrocuted and just explodes into this, into sushi, essentially, in the ocean. Let me see here. This other one... Oops, that is a lot of damage. You put one of the other... You put both the shark and the other fish in crisis with this attack.
Fantastic.
And the shark is going to... Let's see. Yep. The shark is going to take this opportunity to retaliate against Edgar.
He really doesn't need to.
It is a 13 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
I'm gonna protect it.
Okay. And that is going to be 18 physical damage.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay. Party's turn.
I think I'm at 29.
How much is left in the ritual clock?
You are at 2 out of 6 sections filled.
I'm willing to do it again unless somebody else wants to go first. Try to complete the ritual.
You can if you want to.
Cassandra could use her bolt attacks for now, and then we could just finish up with more ritual, but... You know what I mean? Well, actually, no, her... Oh, wait, her dex is down, so her aim's gonna be worse too, right?
I mean, I've still been hitting, but I don't mind them trying to fill the ritual thing, and then I can shoot Apple out too.
Okay. I will roll then. I rolled a 9.
9 will not succeed. So we're still
Dang
at
it.
2 out of 6.
Gosh. Okay.
So let's see. Edgar has gone. Blair has gone. Has anyone else gone this round yet?
I don't think so.
I think that's it.
Alright, so I have one more fish to do attacks with. See, that is a 6 to hit against Cassandra. I think that's gonna miss.
Yes.
Right. And it is the party's turn. GM is out of creatures. for the
Alright, well,
round.
you know what? Am I allowed, if I do a dark strike roll, am I allowed to do double might for my thing? Or anything like that? Or get like bonus for it? Roll the dark strike itself too, where I deal damage to myself. To really make it menacing.
You could, but do note.
Actually, it's probably not worth. It's probably not worth my clock and stuff.
Yeah, you have a clock, and this is also a flying enemy.
Ah, okay.
I don't think you would be able to strike this with a melee attack.
Oh, I was just thinking about doing my dark strike for the ritual, but
Then yeah.
I also don't know if that's that worth, because it could affect my clock too, so.
I would say that this is not expressly affecting your clock currently. It is as long as you're not doing damage with it, it doesn't advance your clock.
So I'll roll a D8 or a D10 then. Now I don't know what this might do for my ritual thing here when I hit this, but like how that might affect my roll or what you're thinking with that.
Okay. I would say might plus might is fine if you're doing what is essentially a dark strike here.
Okay, so nice 7 damage. Now I'm really rolling those high numbers. When I'm doing travel rolls and damage to myself, we gotta roll high. And now it's time to do my double might roll, which is totally also gonna be high. It's totally gonna be a great check. Right on. Look at that go. I'm Hold up. Okay. I think I should just. This one's for new Zinnia.
Wow.
How? Oh, what?
I had to invoke a bond to get it to 10.
Oh, I see.
I used the
Okay.
Fabula point. Zinnia, we're making this the best dang ritual ever.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take off my stupid slow now, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
I
Zinnia
burned
gives you
so
one of
much
those
on that.
DPS hearts.
All right. We are halfway full. I think we still have some party members to go this round.
Ooh, nice. That's a roll.
Okay.
15.
And did Blair go? I can't remember.
Blair did. Blair was second.
Okay. Then we are
Pass.
back to the top of the round.
I think Cassandra was going.
Cassandra
Right?
and
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Is there something about getting a 2 sections filled in if you beat the DC by a lot, or am I thinking of D&D?
If you got an opportunity.
Yeah, if you get an opportunity, you can definitely do that. So this is just a. Oh, hang on, checks. So yeah, page 53 under advancing a clock. In general, clocks advance through checks. Fill one section for a successful check. Fill an additional section if the result of the check surpassed the difficulty level by 3 or more, or 2 additional sections if it was 6 or more. And if it was a critical success, the corresponding opportunity may be spent for 2 additional sections. So, yeah, 15 beats it by 3, so this is at 5 of 6 now.
Man, how about that brain just pulling that out of nowhere?
Oh wait, is it a 12 we have to roll? I thought it was a 10.
It's a 10, yes.
Okay.
So when
Okay.
Zinnia made a 13 or better, they got an extra section, and if they had rolled a 16 or better, they would have gotten 2 extra sections.
Right.
In addition
okay, I
to
understand.
just succeeding.
Nice.
Okay.
Good job, Zinnia. And then I had a question about.
Mhm.
So you said that Edgar put one of the little fishes into crisis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna aim for that little fish that Edgar put into crisis.
Both the remaining thorn shark
Oh.
and the thornfish are in crisis currently.
All three of them are.
One is dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
One is dead. Okay, I didn't realize one was already gone. I'm sorry.
You're good.
I'm gonna go for the other little fish then and try to get rid of that completely.
Okay. Roll an attack.
You could do it. Hey!
Maybe not.
Shoots wide. All right.
Get a Fabula point.
I'm grateful for that. I was like 4 to hit. That sounds terrible. And then I realized what I actually rolled, and I was like, oh no.
Fumble.
And then don't forget every time you have been rolling attacks, Cassandra, that you gain 5 HP and 5 MP.
Does that include like temporary wise?
Sorry, one more time.
Does that because like I'm full right now? I am remembering, but I am full right now. But do I get
Oh,
like
if you're
more than
full,
what
it's
I
not.
have?
No,
Or
it's
that
not
you
going to
get
help you.
HP.
I would love to just hoard, just hoard it all.
All right, now I've got a 17 to hit versus Edgar.
Yep.
And that will do 15 ice damage and slow.
That's unfortunate.
Is that the first time you've been hit?
Yep.
Dang.
I protected a few of them because I wanted to keep his dex
Oh
up.
yeah,
but
valid.
Okay. Party's turn.
Oh, we're at the top of the order again, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm.
Did I do a ritual check before we accidentally kill everything
Sure.
and defeat the purpose of the ritual?
Oh no. I would like to steal from him first, and then you can do that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
All right,
There
go
you go.
for it.
Get my missing IP.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to steal from the big shark.
Okay.
I don't know if he's
Oh,
I don't know if he's
I
a big.
forgot you could do that
big
for
thing,
IP.
So it's against their magic defense.
Okay. All right. That will succeed. And I would say the soul treasure that you receive, in this case, because it is an elite and not a soldier,
crap. Alright.
you are going to receive a scale from this fish. And I will determine exactly what that does and let you know then.
All right, no worries.
All right. Let's see. I've got another. Got 2 more. The little fish is going to go make an attack against Edgar. This is a 10 to hit.
That is going to hit now.
Okay. That is going to be 17 physical damage.
All right, that hurts.
The party's turn.
You want to try to do your rituals in you?
Let's do it. Roll. Clap.
I'm in crisis.
All
I
right,
think
go
I'm
to
jumping
do
in.
section.
Okay. So the clock is now full. And so you folks may. Those of you who helped fill sections may do a group check with Zinnia, who will be doing. And again, you can choose to support how you would like, and I will let you know what stats to roll for that. And then Zinnia will have a D10 chimerism check to make.
Levine will be supporting by just filling it with this overbearing, sinister, just gaze upon the enemy.
Give it intimidation.
Okay.
Basically, I just make it super dark, overwhelming.
Roll a might and willpower check, please.
Okay, Come on, show me big money. Ah, it's a 7.
Okay.
Seven's really like you today.
Yeah.
That's unfortunately not going to assist Zinnia in the check. I think Blair added a section of the clock at least.
I did. I am thinking which I want to do. Could I do like, I don't know, like a condemn assist, or would it only really be encouraged that I could do with this?
Damn.
Yeah. You may use an action and spend 5 mind points to perform an opposed check against a creature that can hear and understand you. Describe accusations. If you succeed, the target loses mind points and suffers dazed. Sorry?
That's been changed in the
Oh, I still have it the old way.
playtest material.
Well, I don't think that you can use condemn against. Well, it's designed to be used against something and to do an opposed check, which is not really what's going on here. I would say if you wanted to, you could encourage, Zinnia or something like that. But I think condemn falls a little bit outside the purview of what this ritual is trying to accomplish.
Then yeah, I'll just encourage and roll.
All right, so roll and encourage for Zinnia.
I had a 7.
7. All right. Unfortunately, that also is not going to assist Zinnia. It's up to you. DC 10 Insight and Willpower check.
I believe. Yo!
Oh my. Nicely done.
Biggest
Okay.
fish you ever saw. Hey, that's my favorite number.
Okay.
And a big crack of thunder just happened right behind me. It was awesome timing.
All right. So, you folks owe 60 magic points, divided up between you however you would like. And this is essentially what happens. So, at the beginning, at the outset of this battle, Zinnia has been standing at the stern of the ship, concentrating on the water, and throughout the battle, Levine has occasionally been channeling some dark energy, trying to enhance the illusion that Zinnia is slowly building at the back of the ship. And Blair has been throwing out words of encouragement, trying to help Zinnia find the right threads to pull in order to get this illusion to behave and puppeteer the way that she wants to. And when it is finally complete, a gigantic whale-shaped fish, larger than the ship that you are currently riding on, rises from the ocean, and the illusion is so convincing it appears to splash out of the water, right, to displace the water as it jumps into the air, and it blocks out the sun at this point for a brief moment as it is traveling over top of the ship. And the shark and the small fish, instinctively seeing this massive silhouette overtake them, immediately dive down into the ocean underneath where this fish lands with a massive splash. And while the splash appears to be there, the ship doesn't rock at all. It is part of the illusion. However, the danger appears to have passed for now, and you are all now safe. Nicely done.
We did it.
Because they were all in crisis, they all fled the scene.
Yeah, I think we probably could have just killed them faster, but that was fun. Thanks, everyone.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. Loved it.
Levine couldn't have killed much faster. Levine probably would have killed herself faster.
Okay. So that was fortunately a relatively short incursion, and you folks managed to still get your full 3 days travel, or excuse me, 3 spaces of travel for the day. And at this point, the shoreline is no longer congested with and choked with these large trees, and begins to give way to swamplands and brackish water that seems to be mixing kind of fresh and salt water into this area. It's kind of got this heavy fog over top of most of the swamp. It's not inhibiting your vision so much as it just kind of seems to be hanging and floating there and gives you this atmosphere of gloominess. And it is now 1 o'clock. I would say that from here we can continue doing travel rolls towards the Dark Armor Mountains if you folks would like. But if you roll another danger, we're going to have to put it off until another night. We could stop here if you want. It kind of makes sense narratively. Or we can finish out your travel rolls. It's up to you folks.
Should we do one
Sorry,
more
go ahead.
travel roll? Yeah, I was gonna say one more travel roll just to see what the start of the next episode will be.
Yeah, we can
I'll
end on a
do it.
cliffhanger.
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so I need somebody to roll a d8, please.
Don't worry, I'm gonna roll an 8 this time.
Let's go.
You want to go
Let's
ahead,
freaking
Caitlin?
I'm
go.
doing it.
Okay, I believe in you.
Boom.
A 4.
Nice, thank God it was.
So this,
I don't even know if that's good, but
it's not 8. It's
Yeah.
not 7.
So you folks make good time on a mostly uneventful day, and relatively quickly the coastline changes from swampland to rocky beach as you approach the Koga Desert. You guys like to do an additional travel roll?
I think this is Cassandra's turn now.
Okay. Roll. Is it slash roll 1d8, right?
Flash roll 1d8.
Yeah. I always forget where the slash is supposed to go.
Ah,
It's alright. It's
no,
not
it's,
8.
it's not a 7. It's less than a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on, I need to look up the rule. I'm pretty sure this is a thing here.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Thing.
Six or higher. I just looked it up.
I don't bug.
Good.
I knew it. I'm sorry.
And out of curiosity,
It's
you
okay.
couldn't learn any spells from those fish.
If Zinnia has spell slots available to learn, I can give you Ocean Jet, which is what they were using to cause ice damage and slow. I will go ahead and put in the Discord for you.
I do have spell slots.
There you go.
So you gotta make sure to ask.
Thank you. I meant to ask and I totally forgot. I can also learn spells from constructs and elementals now.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So, let me see what else I got here. right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that what you folks encounter out here, man, it's hard to come up with multiple different kinds of dangers, but I'm going to see here.
Those sailors are never gonna give us a ride again.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna be like, you're cursed. Get off our ship.
Okay. I would like everybody to roll. It is getting incredibly cold where you guys are. The further north you go, the colder and colder and colder this gets. And you folks are, in order to continue traveling, you have to work on deck most of the day. And there's just not really a great solution to keeping warm without spending a ton of magical energy to light fires, which don't seem to last that long. I need everybody to roll a double willpower check for me, please.
Okay. I also want to double check too. How much did Zinnia and Blair put into that last check? Just to.
I did 10.
40.
Okay, I was gonna say I could do 20 still, but if you want to do 40, you can, and I'll do 10.
All right, and I'm going to say that the difficulty class for this is 13.
I'll bump it down to 30. You can do 20 because now that I have a cool spell, maybe I want my
Yeah.
MP.
Like I
I
got
rolled a
my new
6.
Arcana thing. Yo, 11.
I got a fumble. I'm going to use a fabulous one.
Wait, can you use a Fabula point with a fumble?
Can I? No, I don't think I can. I just gotta
No.
get another one on the eye for it. I was wondering though, given that everyone's cold, am I allowed to use Elemental Shroud on everybody?
I would say go ahead. Can you read me the description of elemental?
So
Can you use it on
Thank-
everyone?
Oh,
not on
three
everyone.
people.
I have a limit. I can go up to 4 because I have a new thing for that. But you weave magical energy and protect the targets from the fury of the elements. Choose a damage type: air, bolt, earth, fire, or ice. Until the spell ends, each target gains resistance against the chosen damage type.
Okay.
I mostly just want to see if I can use it if they are going to get ice, any kind of cold damage, if I can protect them from it while they're trying to be on the ship.
All right. I'll say you can apply this to whomever you would like. And it should provide them some sort of protection.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping in mind that you also have a crew of about 10 NPCs on the ship with you as well.
Yeah, so for me, so I don't know if it's mean or not, but I was mostly just thinking I would do, like, Edgar, Levine, Zinnia, and Blair.
Don't do me.
Not you? Okay.
No. In fact, I've been meaning to ask. I just didn't really have an opening. Do you all have accessories? Does everybody have accessories?
I have one, yeah.
You have one?
Not really. I have a commune badge and that's it.
I have that ring that I got last time.
Alright, because I've got this like the ring for the initiative. And that's why I've been doing the initiative, but I kind of don't want to wear that all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I didn't know if anybody wanted that.
Oh, Levine's ready for some initiative, that's for sure. I don't know if she should be, but
Probably no, definitely not. Isn't your dex like awful?
no, my dex is okay, but I wear martial armor that drops it down, so.
Oh, that doesn't affect. Oh well, I mean, it'll affect dex, your initiative because of the negatives. But
Yeah.
yeah, because I guess if I'm starting to feel the cold, I'm gonna swap around some equipment if I'm allowed.
Sure.
I'm gonna put on my amulet of inner warmth.
Nice.
That will now
I've
be
been
immune to ice.
Good idea.
That's not what I meant to do. How do I switch this? Oh, I think I just gotta put it in the attributes, facts. No. I'll figure it out. So I don't know if that's gonna help me at all, but
Yes, you will automatically succeed if that is the case.
fantastic.
Okay. And who are you applying Shroud to, Cassandra?
I think I will apply it to Levine, myself, Zinnia, and Blair then.
Okay. So
For ice.
okay. So you cast Ice Elemental Shroud on your respective characters. So everybody who has Ice Elemental Shroud, the difficulty class went from 13 down to 10. So Levine now succeeds. Zinnia succeeded from the get-go. And I think Blair now succeeds as well. Is that right?
And is this magic defense or normal defense? For the
You're just
damage?
rolling a double willpower check.
Oh. Let's see. A 9.
A 9. So, okay, Cassandra and Blair are going to take some damage here. And I need to do some rolls for your crewmates, if you'll give me just a moment here.
It's a hard knock life for us.
That is a critical success. That's a failure. So that's 2 succeed, 2, 1 fail. 3 succeed, 1 fail. 3 succeed, 2 fails. 3 succeed, 3 fails. 3 succeed, 4 fails.
I'm supposed to head over to the desert. Why is it so cold?
3 successes, 5 failures.
Jeepers.
3 successes, 6 failures. 3 successes and 7 failures.
We had a strong start.
Yes, we did.
I expected better performance, but
Okay.
we got.
So, Blair and Cassandra, you are both slowed and weakened, and you take 20 points of cold damage, but it can't kill you. And, well, let's see. Unfortunately, 5 of the crew members of the ship have perished as part of the bitter cold. You folks will be able to continue on your journey, but it's gonna be a little bit harder now. Yeah. So let's see. I think we can continue on our travel rolls here. Okay.
There's nothing we could have done as they're getting ill and stuff.
This feels like Oregon Trail. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, does this normally happen with these guys? They just lost.
It was an exceptionally large cold snap that they were not prepared for, an unnatural storm. And despite your best efforts and preparations, there simply wasn't enough warmth for everyone to go around and enough provisions to prevent this from happening.
All right, just gonna make more notes on Levine's guilt, Hallie.
And Cassandra, several of these souls enter the compass, and your clock has advanced 7 seconds. All right, who's next on the travel roll? I think we have 3 days left.
Well, listen, Zinnia, you roll.
Got it, Zinnia.
Are we still doing D8s or are we up higher because of the dead crew?
I would say you're still at D8s.
That's it, folks. Have a good night.
Been rolling high all night long.
Tune in next time. That's a nice solid 8.
All right, so we all take levels of Wayfarer to bring that travel roll.
Everybody's dead.
We all crashed the ship into the shore, and
Oh, wait a minute. I should have saved the travel rolls for next time after I buy the thing that gets you IP when you travel.
Well, there you go.
should we just leave it on a cliffhanger?
I can't believe the way what you guys are rolling here.
Yeah, it feels pretty bad. Not gonna lie.
I mean,
mean,
it's
37.5% chance. It's not that ridiculous.
yeah, it's pretty high chance.
Okay. I would say that at this point, you folks are most of the way there. So can you folks see my cursor here or not so much? Do I have one? Okay.
You should
Yeah,
have
one.
All right. I can't see my own is the thing. It's kinda
Yeah,
weird.
right up by these dark armor. No, it's over here. I'm trying to keep
Right
up.
here,
Oh man,
here,
this
here.
dude's fast as frick.
So you folks encounter essentially ice flows as far as you can see up here.
Damn.
And so your progress to the west is blocked. And so you folks make your way down into this channel, and you can essentially get no further by boat at this point. And so it's up to you what you would like to do. You can disembark here, or you can try to wait it out and see what happens, but that's where you're at.
Levine will add that because I feel like this is kind of part of the travel she took before, was that to get from the Armor Mountains to the Koga Desert, she kind of made a makeshift raft and kind of crossed right here. So she knows that it can be done. It's a little tricky, but
Well, if everything is
And that-
frozen, maybe there's going to be a nice bridge that we can cross.
yeah. So she's familiar with doing it. Normally not with as big of a crew, but she does say she's made this trek quite a few times right through here. So
We can disembark. That's fine.
I think we should relieve the crew of having our curse, and they should, try to get home and live their lives.
All right.
Everyone else agree?
So you folks at the end of the day had 8 days of travel. And And so I will figure out what to charge you for that and go back and look at the previous videos.
Yeah.
So
I know I spent a lot before, but
you
I
folks,
mean, there's less crew to pay now, so it should be cheaper.
the price stands. Those folks are just getting paid more.
I kind of earned
No,
it.
they gotta pay off the family of the deceased.
Yeah.
Suppose.
Okay. So you folks have to go from where my cursor is now down to where Levine used the raft, which this is going to be one travel day across the desert. So this is going to be. Let me read this because this would normally be a D20 roll.
Oh,
For
okay. Maybe Levine hasn't made this travel before.
Let me find the Wayfarer here skill here and see what it says.
Yeah, there you go.
Reduce your travel rolls by one size.
Yeah. Oh, the effects are not cumulative. What?
So, rather than rolling a d20, someone has to roll a d12 for this trek across the desert.
Has everyone rolled at least once?
Yes.
I believe we have, yeah.
I'm having fun
Alright.
for people about to
You know
leave.
what?
Yeah, I'm really tired, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Then we
Should we
will.
roll it next time?
Yep.
Yes.
Roll it next time. I'll get an IP when we roll it. When we level up.
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me. Well, you folks almost made it there. But thanks for hanging out and have a good night.